Today's top value, another great reason to shop NBC.
You know what time it is. It's a brand new day here at ShopNBC and a brand new Today's Top Value. A big deal offered for one day only. That's right, it's got an expiration date, and that is at the end of the day today. We are starting off now with V09077. The return of the Winchester Grand at 44 millimeters. We're going to get into the specifics in a moment. Here's the deal, folks. You're going to get it for that's not a typo, $64.27. Our good man here, Mr. Larry Magen, he is the president of North American Operations for Stuhrling Original, and he is back to tell us all the amazing details. Welcome back, buddy.
Well, Jim, it feels like we haven't worked in a year, and I know it's only been about 4 weeks, but it's great to be back and, you know, to come back now after 4 weeks with a Today's Top Value, and we're bringing our one of the most popular skeleton mechanicals of all time. It was a big hit last year. A few little changes here for 2010, though. The Winchester Grand, Jim, for 2010. This is really a spectacular
Let's talk about
offer.
some of the changes. Number one, the original Winchester was a 40 millimeter. This goes up to 44. So it's a little bit bigger, and it's not drastically oversized. And I saw some of the comments that you guys were making on my Facebook page, and you know, oh, the watches are going so big, folks. This is not big. It plays actually a little bit smaller than what it is, because you're buying into a classic, elegant style. Now we're adding a new color for this run around. Now you're going to get the original black that you see on my wrist here. Black IP is still the hot one. Then actually, if we can go up here, it'll probably be a little bit easier. So we'll start with the black. Then we're going to have the silver tone. You're going to get a silver tone black, silver tone case, black strap. The gold tone with the brown strap. Very dressy, very elegant. And brand new this go around.
This is the new one.
The rose tone with more of a dark tobacco brown strap. And that's going to be this bad boy right here. Now, you're going to notice where the colors get added. It's not just in the case, but it's also going to be here in the movement retainer. Now, your retainer is actually cutaway skeletonized, and that's what actually makes this chapter ring, what makes the hash hour markers, and the 12, 3, 6, and 9. So there is absolutely no dial whatsoever. The movement inside has been skeletonized. That allows you to see not only into the movement, so all the different components that are there, but also through the movement as well. You'll notice you can see all the way through, and because of the way they've skeletonized the movement retainer, you can see through all the way around. It's almost as if the movement is floating within. Each of the models will give you the blue colored hands.
Right.
So you've got a wonderful contrast between the movement and the hands, so it's easy to read. A lot of times people kind of balk a little bit on a skeleton because they go, well, it's not easy, it's not the easiest thing to read. Well, there you go with the blued hands. Now this, if you buy the black, you will get the gunmetal movement retainer, the blued hands. That's still my favorite. This price is good for today. For value pays, folks, of $16. One of the lowest prices we've even done a quartz for. And this isn't a quartz, folks. This is a true mechanical automatic, and that's the beauty. Larry, you guys are at the top of your game when it comes to skeletonized automatics, and this is a very popular look, but you keep the classic look, you add the skeletonization, you make it kind of an old world style, but in a modern size. This really appeals to every kind of collector.
Well, absolutely, Jim. And the Winchester Grand is from our Lifestyles collection, our parliamentary series. And we just a moment ago had a shot of the exhibition case back where you saw the new refreshed rotor design for 2010, which is one of the differences. There it is. Thank you, guys. This movement, the 90050, is 20 joules. It does 34 hours of power reserve, 21,600 vibrations per hour. But again, instead of the engraved scroll work, you can see it's got a different finish on it, a little bit refreshed for 2010, the guillotine style rotor. But as you point out, Jim, when you talk about old world, Stuhrling Original, we have become known for our not just mechanical automatics, but our skeletonized mechanical automatics. We have somewhere around 70 or 75 different skeletonized mechanical automatics in our entire gallery of timepieces. It's kind of our go-to forte that people know us for. And
We're talking about automatic movements. Let's discuss that for a moment. Most everybody out there that's just getting into watches, you own a quartz watch, a battery-powered watch. You take it down every 3 to 5 years and have a battery put in, and it's always running. What you're getting into here is a pure mechanical movement, which means wound up by the crown. The power source is a coiled up mainspring, and this is an automatic version of that, so you're getting the addition of this weighted rotor. Now that weighted rotor, as you're wearing the watch throughout the day, will rotate around, and that will wind up the movement for you. So you can choose to either wind it manually by the crown, like you see me doing here, or you simply wear it, give it a couple of good shakes, whatever, and that rotor will spin and then wind it up for you. If you were to wind it up fully and then just lay it down and not touch it, it will run for 36 hours under a full wind without any further input from you. So the big deal about this is you're buying into the more pure form of watchmaking, because when you buy a quartz movement, they're all run off an assembly line, they're all welded, soldered by robots and this and that. This movement, at some point before its completion, was touched by human hands. Now, I'm not saying it's a handmade movement. What I am saying, though, is the final assembly, the final balance, the checking of the movement and the balance of it is done by hand. So it's a slower process, more expensive process. You're getting all that for $64. You could go into a retail store and have to really search to find a quartz watch for 65 bucks. That's the beauty of this offer.
Well, very much so. You said it so well, Jim. I hate to harp on price because I almost think the price is going to fool people into thinking that it's something it's not. Do not be fooled by the price here. This is worth easily 2 times this price, actually 3 times this price. This is a today's top value with ShopNBC. It's an opportunity for us to bring new people to our brand. That's really what a today's top value is all about.
What a great way to lure them in. I mean, if this is their first Stuhrling, this will not be their last.
For sure. And again, we have become known for the Skelton mechanical automatics. And when you're wearing a skeletonized mechanical automatic timepiece, with no battery in that, it's really a commitment to your own sense of personal style. It is a conversation piece. It's saying that you appreciate the art and tradition of watchmaking, and people see it on your wrist like, what's that? And you just can't wait to take it off and hand it to them and let them turn it over and look through the exhibition case back. And if you really do like and appreciate, skeletonized timepieces, an art that goes back a couple of 100 years at least, there really is. In our gallery, there is almost no finer piece to do it with than the Winchester, because there literally is no dial in this timepiece.
It's all about the movement.
It's all about the movement, exactly, Jim. You're not obscuring any part of the movement whatsoever. And as you point out, Jim, we've sculpted the retainer that holds the movement to actually form your hour markers. It's got spoke-like markers that are coming out that hold it, that give you the 1 and the 2.
Kind of like a wagon wheel.
Like a wagon wheel. Very nicely said, Jim.
Another part I love is the lugs. You guys are using sculpted lugs. They are actually step-down lugs. So it's not just, we'll put 4 lug horns sticking out of the case. Beautifully sculpted lugs that go down into your strap. It's a genuine leather strap in what we call a bamboo style. So it replicates the look of something like an alligator or whatnot, but in genuine leather. Specially treated, hand-stitched, fully padded, standard buckles. So if you're the kind that, you have an issue maybe sometimes wearing deploying clasp or whatnot, standard buckle, nothing to worry about. You could always add a deploying if you were the kind that loved those. You can certainly do that. The newest and one of the hottest tonight is the Rose. Now, the black IP that you're seeing here, we've seen that before, as well as the silver tone. That's the most classic, by the way. If you're looking for the one that you can wear every day, dressed up, dressed down, everything in between, get the silver tone black. There is your gold tone, but there's the brand new Rose. And I got to tell you, Larry, the Rose is absolutely gorgeous. You're wearing a Rose tonight with a tan sport coat here. Let's take a look at that and see what it looks like dressed up. You see that I can dress it down with the various colors. Now let's see what it looks like in the office. Now that is it's like wearing a power tie. That's going to bring the attention to you. You will capture everyone's attention when you're making that presentation. And you're going to have a little bit more of a confident step as you walk in the room.
Definitely, Jim, and you can see the reflection of the lights in the domed crystal. It's a slightly domed crystal. Again, that's more expensive, but here it is. It looks like a boardroom piece, and you are correct, Jim. This is new to the Winchester Grand, the rose tone case, but going back historically, with our first original Winchesters, we did make a rose tone version, but that was in the smaller 40 millimeter size. In the Winchester Grand that we came out with in 2009, which was a very big hit here at ShopNBC, we only made 3 executions and we did not make the rose tone. Now here in 2010, with the refreshed movement and design, we've added back in the rose tone on the mahogany brown strap, as you can see right here, Jim.
The brown and the rose and the black are the 2 top sellers so far out of the gate. We knew the black was going to be hot. I want to give you a quick little tour here on the gold tone here. We've not shown you the gold tone close up. Again, black, silver tone, gold tone, or rose tone are your choices. And I noticed one thing was really standing out on our TV monitors here as Larry was wearing the watch. You can't help but notice this right here.
Right.
And you're seeing this wheel oscillating back and forth to and fro. What that is the regulatory process of your movement. Now, follow me here for a second. You've got a coiled up mainspring. That's right here. So that's what's actually storing the energy and releasing its energy. If you didn't have the balance assembly, this would simply unwind in a matter of a couple of seconds and it wouldn't run. This is the part of the movement that is slowing down the expansion of the mainspring and telling it to run 60 seconds per minute, 60 minutes per hour. So as you're looking down on your wrist, or others are looking down on your wrist, they're going to see the mechanics of this watch. They're going to see it chiming back and forth, and they're going to have questions. They're going to see the red ruby jewel right here, a couple more throughout the movement. They're going to see all these gears that are moving, and they're going to see all these wheels balancing back and forth, and they're going to go, I've never seen anything like it, because realize most people have only ever seen a full solid dial covering a quartz movement. To see right over here the beauty of the movement, to see the pallet fork bouncing back and forth like that little woodpecker right there. That, by the way, that's where your tick, 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 tick sound comes from, is right down there. You reach across that table and you're paying that bill. You reach across that counter and you're swiping that credit card at the grocery store or the gas station. And people are going to catch a glimpse and go, wait, there was something moving in your watch. Let me see that. And most people have never seen that before. And you tell them, hey, listen, this is how your father or grandfather's watch operated. After the 70s, when the quartz revolution took over, everybody started buying quartz and digital and this and that. But this is old world classic watchmaking. And then when you say it's an automatic movement, people then think, when have I ever heard that term automatic movement? Oh, that really expensive brand of watches with the crown on there and this and that. And they're thinking thousands and thousands of dollars. Obviously, we're not making a comparison here. They're wildly different worlds. But for most people, if they know the term automatic movement, they heard it in relation to 1 or 2 very, very high-end brands, and they're going to look at your wrist and go, wow, this guy's got it all together, man. He's wearing a several $1,000 watch. I want to be like him. And whether or not they do or not, they're going to be impressed by it. And you know in your heart, you paid $65. That's what's truly amazing here.
It is amazing, and sometimes I think here at ShopNBC we almost get numb to the offers and the specials and the deals, but this one kind of shocks you back to reality here. This is amazing to get. It's not that long ago, Jim, that it was really quite a spectacular thing to get a mechanical automatic for under $1,000. Then we broke the $200 barrier, and more recently in the last year, the $100 barrier. This is bordering on the ridiculous, but I hate to use the C word, Jim. We're here in July, okay? But seriously, Christmas isn't that far away, and when you talk about an offer like this, I mean, it's really mind-boggling.
Yeah, buy it now, stick it back for a holiday gift.
Yeah, again, I know it's kind of early to get into that, but it is a tremendous offer. And with Stuhrling Original, we're known for our Skelton mechanical automatics. This is what we specialize in. And in our parliamentary series, our Winchester, one of our all-time #1 selling timepieces as far as skeletons go, because again, there's no dial. Everything is transparent. You can see it all.
It's beautiful.
And you're paying homage to an art and tradition that goes back centuries, Jim, and that's really what a skeleton to me is all about.
I'm digging the stealthy black. It really is cool. The black with the gunmetal and the movement retainer. This is a really hot watch. What I'd like to do right now, if I could, is welcome in a Stuhrling fan into the shows.
Sure.
Michael from New York has decided to call in. How are you tonight, Michael? Are you there, Michael? This would be your cue to talk. Okay, we're going to try someone else in a few minutes, and my producer's going to check and see what's going on there. Larry, give us a breakdown again
Sure.
before because we only have about a minute and a half here remaining. The three most important reasons, if somebody has never picked up a Stuhrling original watch or never bought an automatic, why they should own this.
Well, the value, the design, and a commitment to your own sense of style. Once you start with a Stuhrling original, and you put me on the spot there, Jim, I hope I hit it out of the park for you, but you know, once you start with Stuhrling original, it's hard to stop because we do have so many styles. This is kind of a throwback to our classic, dressy, formal business style.
And just slightly bigger.
Exactly. We brought it more current in the 44mm case design. But even 3-4 years ago, this would have been at least a $200 timepiece, even here on ShopNBC. So
let's go back to the phone again. We'll try this one more time, and we're going to talk to Rosa in Maryland. Good evening, Rosa. How are you?
Pretty good.
Fantastic. Thank you for calling in and sharing your time with us.
Well, couldn't pass this offer up.
Which one did you get?
The black one.
Good for you. That's going to be a great everyday wearable timepiece.
Yeah, I thought that was the prettiest one there.
Now, did you get it for yourself or for someone else?
I got it for myself.
Awesome. I love to hear ladies wearing the slightly larger watches. The 44mm, in my opinion, is a really great size for this.
is this your first Stuhrling original, Rosa?
No, I have a few of them.
Okay.
So what is it about Stuhrling that makes you come back time and time again?
I like the automatic, and I love watching them just move by themselves.
Yeah, it is. It's fascinating. And when you get it in a skeletonized form, there's no mystery. You can see all of the components harmonizing together, creating that symphony of time on your wrist.
Great, and no battery.
That's right. You don't have to worry about all that nonsense. Well, cool deal, Rosa. Thank you so very much for calling in, and we look forward to hearing from you in the future.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much for your support, Rosa.
Great. Take care. All right, folks. That's pretty much going to be it for this presentation. We will revisit this again next hour. And we have a third hour, believe it or not.
That's
3 hours of Larry and I. Your heads just might explode. Now, not just because of how insane both of us are, but the watch is being brought out tonight, folks. A lot of new, but a lot of returning favorites. I'm afraid to even ask, do we even have the gray in this one?
We should, Jim.
Oh, my goodness, we do. The 90105. We never have the gray in stock. This is the one that I own. I wear it in the gray, the Manchester Aussie automatic day and date. And we never have the gray. If you want the gray, do it now. Get on the phone so I don't have to answer all the emails. Sorry, we don't have it. The Enterprise. I'm wearing mine tonight. Those of you that follow me on Facebook see me wearing this a lot. We do our little watch of the day thing. One of my favorite new Stuhrling original watches, massive size, 52mm, V91537. We've got the blue, we've got the orange, both screaming hot. Buy one of each. Don't go cheap. Buy both. You'll find a reason to wear both of them, I guarantee you. Right now, though, we're going to go to a brand new piece. We needed to do this. V91561. It is the brand new Apocalypse Grand. Almost entirely different new look. It's $192.50 on zero value pays. Sorry, I'm used to rolling into value pay. I apologize. I didn't mean to do that. So I'm going to snag the blue right away because it's kind of matching what I'm wearing tonight. Larry, the strap, the dial, the bezel, this thing is rocking, man.
Yeah, it's our 49mm case size. Many of you out there, we call you apocalyptomaniacs. We have, I think, 15 or 16 different models in the Apocalypse series now, our most popular series.
And 5 different sizes, or 4 sizes.
I've lost count. I do think we have. But if you know our XT or our Super Apocalypse, that is the 49mm case size. That's what this is, the 49mm case size. But we've done them with the black PVD TTV this time, which is kind of a nice twist. And we made a new rubber strap, Jim, a new mold. Every time you do that, that's an expensive process.
By the way, I want to
real
just interrupt you for
heavy-duty.
1 second. I know a lot of you are on hold right now because you're trying to buy the Manchester Aussie. We know how popular that watch is. Stay there. I'll let you know when my producer tells me the gray is sold out. I know you're trying to get the gray. But while you're on the phone, pick up this new Apocalypse. Every time a new Apocalypse comes out, people go nuts. Why? Because they're hot. It's a great look. It's a very high-end, sophisticated look in a very high-tech type of design. Here's my personal favorite. I'm on a black and blue kick. Many of you know why. This is just a hot look. The ionic blue plating, which is fairly new for Stuhrling, only about a year or so that you guys have delved into that really electrifying look. This is just hotness. Now, what movement do we have in here?
Well, this is the ISA. I believe it's the 8172, the day-date chronograph. Is that the 72 or 73?
72.
72, the 8172 day-date chronograph, but it's got the larger size date wheel. As you can see, it's exposed up at the 12 o'clock position, which means it has the vertical numerals, Jim, as opposed to down at the 4 o'clock position. But it's the same movement, and it's a Swiss movement. It's got the 1/5 Swiss parts ISA with the 1/5 pulse rate, 5 beats per second, Jim, on the chronograph. It's got the smooth sweep. But to me, this is all about the case design. Yes, it's a chronograph with add and split functions, but the case design, one of our most popular cases that we make, Jim, it does have the signature Stuhrling S screw heads on that 10-sided bezel design, Jim.
I'm kind of digging this new flavor here.
The green.
This is kind of military.
Yeah.
You've got almost a royal military. You've got this black ionic plating with a deep forest green. Now, again, military would be more of an olive green. This is more of a deep forest green. You know what?
I was going to grab that, by the way.
British sports car, maybe. You're kind of into that whole British racing green. This is a really sophisticated look for a casual sporty watch. Now, it is big. Keep in mind, 49 millimeters ain't no toy, as I like to say. It's a big honking watch, but it wears so comfortably because it's a fairly slim watch, only about 12, 13 millimeters in thickness. It is not overbearing. It is not too weighty on the wrist. You want to grab it, do it now. Again, an update for you. If you want the Manchester Aussie, a lot of you are on hold trying to buy it. It is still there. Keep buying. We're going to keep chugging along. A lot of people are buying on ShopNBC.com. That is the smartest way to purchase right now. And wait till later, because we're going to bring out a couple of new hotties, man. Let me tell you right now, I've got my eye on that, the Admiral. You haven't seen it yet. Trust me when I tell you,
hour, I think,
the Admiral, at the end of the second hour, is going to blow your ever-loving mind. Let's talk for a second about the strap and what you've done here, because special tooling is required for this.
Well, absolutely. Every time you make a new rubber strap, Jim, it's a new mold, and that's going to be anywhere from a couple grand to as much as $5 grand, depending on. So I think this is now the 4th or 5th different rubber strap design on our Apocalypse series.
So the texture is mimicking the texture in the dial.
Very much so, and it's a real heavy duty. This might be the heaviest rubber strap we've ever made. I mean, feel the thickness of this, Jim.
You could spank somebody with this strap.
It's great. It's one of the finest we've done. You see the Stuhrling original on the inside.
You get to pay extra for that.
You know, and well, you know,
the spanking.
Okay, well, listen, you know, whatever reason that you have for making the purchase, I'm not going to critique it. But
this is the easiest to read, by the way. I'm looking at this one. If you want the cleanest, easiest to read, buy the black.
This is the black.
With the white numerals and hour markers. It's a very, very clean look.
And you see those signature Stuhrling S screw heads right there. But, you know, this case design truly is one of the more popular case designs in the entire watch industry. A number of watch companies are putting their spin on this particular case design, and we've been doing it now for over 3 years. Like I said, we have more than 15 different models in the series, Jim.
All right, we're going to move on. We got more stuff to get to. You want the new stuff, you start buying now, V91561. And you might be wondering, why is it a V number instead of a J number like I'm accustomed to with watches? Because Stuhrling is one of 2 vendors here that we have partnered with in drop shipping. So they will ship these directly to you, bypassing us entirely in the process. You do not have to wait for it to come to us, then get checked out more, and then repackage, all that noise. You're going to get stuff uber fast. A lot of people are still on hold for today's top value, as well you should be. It's $65, folks. Wow. For an automatic Skelton at a 44 millimeter, rose, silver tone, gold tone, or black ionic plated. Now, we're calling this mid-size. Jimbo here is calling this lady size, V91598. What's the millimeter on this?
41, Jim.
See, I look at that as kind of a lady's watch, and I'm going to tell you why in a second. $84.67. The engraved center links that are filled in with enamel match the bezels. Now, here's why I think that's kind of a lady's watch, because here's the same watch, by the way, no engraving on the center links, in the big, what I consider man-size V91600.
50.
50, big honkin' 50 millimeter. Let's show them side by side, shall we? Because we spent all the time and money creating this graphic.
Yeah, and it's a very special promotional price, as you can see right here, Jim, and you really need to see that big one on the wrist, guys.
All right, I'm going to do exactly what you expect me to do. I am snagging the one that I personally own, my favorite.
I'm going to take the navy
You're
because
grab the
I
navy?
like the rainbow.
Here's why you want this watch.
Although I own the orange.
It's square. It is one of the single most comfortable watches you will ever own due to the curvature of the case and the forced curvature of the supported style leather strap. Here, check this out. There's your curvature, okay? So you see it's very well curved. Now, I forgot what we call it, but the overall size, it will wear like a 46 millimeter timepiece, 45, 46 millimeter. It's not overbearing, but it's still a good full size. It is a true decorated mechanical automatic. I want to very clearly point this out because you look at the price and go, well, it's got to be a quartz if it's a day date. No, it is an automatic. I have owned this watch now for about 3 years. When I put this on, it's one of the rare times, and actually my Enterprise is another one of those watches that I do this with. It's one of those rare watches that once I put it on, I tend to wear it for a couple of days. Now, again, those of you that know me on Facebook and when you participate in Watch of the Day, you'll see me change watches sometimes 2-3 times in one day. But when I put a Manchester Aussie on, I tend to wear it for a couple of days. The comfort level is astounding. The confidence that it gives you, the comments that you're going to get wearing it, it's going to blow your mind. Now, the other big deal about this, there's the silver tone blue, there's also orange silver tone, is the dial work. Larry, this is classic, elegant Stuhrling dial work. If you took just this dial and slapped it in somebody else's watch with a big brand name, it'd be thousands of bucks.
Yeah, this is a hydraulic guilloche Soleil, a sunray pattern on the dial. It's done with vintage German machines. Once again, as Jim pointed out, you do have the mechanical automatic with day and date, Jim. So just the movement aspect alone makes this a super value right here. But all those fanned out exploding numerals are around the dial. Those are all individually applied to the dial. There we go. There's the curvature of that crystal, by the way.
Yeah, look at that.
Large curved crystal, curved
Now,
case.
notice it's double curved, meaning the bottom surface is at the same curvature level as the top, so there's no distortion. That's quite expensive to do, especially in a square cut. Realize this. When you're making crystal, sapphire crystal, mineral crystal, whatever, when you're making a crystal, typically it's going to be round. And just like making a pair of eyeglass lenses, they come in big blanks. And then they shave it down. They've got it on a wheel, and it shaves it down. So it's spinning, and they shave it down. Obviously, you can't do that if it's square. Square has to be cut in a specific manner because you've got hard corners, 90-degree right angles. It's a very expensive process. That's why a lot of companies won't even manufacture a square watch because you've got a square case that must then house a round movement, must then have a custom die cut or in some other way cut square dial and square crystal. Look at the dial work.
Yeah, and I own that orange one, by the way, Jim. There's those individually applied numerals. You can see the three-dimensionality, the curvature. One of the most comfortable cases that we make. And let's not overlook the strap, Jim. You have a 27 millimeter wide, a genuine leather strap. It's got the semi-perforation on the top, and it's got a calfskin nubuck liner on the inside. But it has pre-curved metal inserts at the lugs that give you that perfect case integration, Jim. Seamless case integration. And there's the balance of the pieces you can see right there. Perfectly curved.
This is gorgeous.
Slopes around the wrist. One of the most comfortable cases that we make.
I don't know why I don't own one of each color at this point. I love mine so much.
Well, I have three, you know.
Yeah, I know. And then you got the bigger one.
I've got the black. And
Look at
I've
this
got
up close. You've got, this is why I loved this one, because you don't see a lot of gray. But it's the blue stitching in the strap.
Yeah.
And then I haven't said this in a couple of years ago. Remember this as soon as I say it. you look at the blue that's around each of the numerals. I want you to think back to when you were a kid.
I know where you're going. Yeah.
And you got your birthday cake, and they would write your name or happy birthday or something in that blue gelatin or whatever it is, that icing. That's the same vivid metallic blue. It is so sexy, so hot. Yes, you want the gray. Right now, the orange is the most limited. The gray is going to be gone in a couple of seconds here, so don't delay. But silver tone blue, daily wear blue jeans watch.
This is the one that started it all, is the rainbow numerals, and that's where the name comes from, is the Aussie, as in, you know, over the rainbow. But nevertheless, this is the look that started it all, that many watch companies were doing with the multicolors. Some were using pastels, some were using earth tones. We've chosen the jewel tones, as you can see right here. We put our own Stuhrling original spin on it with the guilloche soleil pattern to back it up,
That's
as you
so
say,
hot.
Jim. But
Screw down crown, by the way, too.
But the curvature, that is what makes it so comfortable. The step design on the case.
It feels like it's molded to your wrist.
It really does. It
Look
really
at that.
does.
It's a perfect fit. I want to go to the phone before we run out of time here, if we can. We're going to speak to Nefty in California. How are you tonight, Nefty?
I'm doing good, Jim. How are you doing?
I believe we've had you on the show before, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. San Jose on the ambulance. You wanted to, if your leg was cut off, you'd say you'd still look at my watch.
That's right. Now I remember crystal clear. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing great. And it's good to see Larry. How are you doing, Larry?
Good, Nefty. How are you?
I'm doing fine.
Good.
Hey, you know what? I'm glad that Manchester is back, especially the gray one. That's been kind of like the white whale. Every time it comes out, it's gone. And I've been waiting for that thing to come in.
So you got it.
I jumped on it. So
Good.
I'm
so
going
happy
for that one.
This
and I'll tell you,
awesome.
Those Manchester Aussies. I have the XLs, the interchangeables.
Yes.
Comfortable.
Yeah.
Very, very comfortable.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm getting into the larger ones too. But you know, I still wear, Jim. I still wear this size.
Me too.
This is. 40,
I don't even own the bigger one.
Yeah, this is 47 millimeters from 10 to 4, Jim.
Yep. That's what's so funny about this watch. You know, we've all graduated to really, really big watches, and those of you that watch me enough know that I really favor big, big watches. I didn't buy into the new larger Manchester. I liked this size. It was perfect.
And you know, by the way, Jim, as long as we're on that, you know, ladies like this size too because it wears like a bangle, like just a big old bangle.
So, Nefty, before we let you go, any more questions or comments for Larry?
Oh, yeah, you know what? I just got to say, I love that watch. I love your brand. My first watch was the Zeppelin. That was my first watch I bought. And have just loved. And I've got the Madman, got the El Capo.
Fantastic.
So quality, they definitely get attention, and they're definitely great dress watches.
Well, thank you so much, Nefty. I've seen you, I think, on the internet, have I not?
Oh, yeah, on Facebook.
Absolutely.
Oh, definitely.
Okay, well, thank you for all your support, really.
Cool
No
deal.
problem. Thank you, guys.
Okay.
Thank you.
Nefty, have a great night, man. Thanks for calling again.
All right.
Take
Bye-bye.
care now. Bye-bye.
Folks, we got to go. Gray is almost entirely sold out. If you want the gray, we called it gray, right? I want to make sure I'm calling it the correct name. Did we call it gray? I hope we did.
Yeah, we did.
So you got gray, orange, or silver tone blue. There are about 3 or 4 dozen, and that's it. They're almost completely spoken for. Stay on the phone, and you know what? Oh, we changed the video. Where's my favorite video? I don't know. The Body Blade is back. Do be sure to tune in tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern. This is the #1 fitness product that we have sold here at ShopNBC in our history. More than listen to this, 46,000 have sold since they debuted. That's been, what, 6 months or something? Crazy. You're going to get 5 value pay on it. It's the first time we're offering it this month, $77. 5 value pay. Get up off your bony butt, or maybe your flabby butt, and get a body blade and get yourself in shape. Larry's got a body blade. Look at that. Look at that sculpted man.
I bought one.
All right, we're going to move on. We're going to go into another one I fell in love with. Larry had sent this to me a couple months ago and said, hey, you know, can you photograph this and do this and that? And it was one of the watches, and we'll show you those images in a moment here because we have them loaded up, that once I started photographing it, I fell in love with it, and I kind of wouldn't stop. I just kept shooting and shooting and shooting. Wow, that's terrible because the photos were in there last time we aired it. Well, we can't find them. V91552. This is the Regatta Meridian. You may recognize the Regatta going back a couple of years.
Sure.
But this one, it's like it's a regatta on steroids. It's bigger, it's bolder, yet it's more refined. In my personal opinion, more refined.
It is more refined because of the extra link in the strap, the case design. It's very slender. You got a narrow bezel. Everything about it is class. I mean, you wear this out on the yacht and bring it right in, to the club. Wear it on the golf course. This is 49 millimeters, Jim. So the original regatta was a 42. And it was on a stainless steel bracelet, link bracelet, as you may recall.
Yeah. This, I think, was a major step for you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. It was in the works for a long time as well. And you're right, you did take some beautiful pictures of this. And if we don't have them here, go to the internet, and you've got them loaded there.
Go to watchgeeks.net. You can see them all there. But
the bezel, to me, is one of the things that makes this so classy and dressy. Because on a diver-style piece, typically you get that,
big, bold diver look.
Yeah, exactly. You get a 5-6 millimeter wide bezel, or 7 even. This is about a 4.5 millimeter bezel, so it's a little bit narrower, and it's got the enamel fill with the wave pattern that's actually inlaid into the enamel fill, Jim.
Yeah, you see that down there by the 5 o'clock position? I'm kind of highlighting it there, and you'll see the wave pattern with the enamel fill. It really, it stops your heart almost, but then you go from that up to the dial. And you see the multi-level dial. I'm going to give you an angle here so that you can see how tall each of the individual hand applications are. Larry, tell us about that.
Well, those are all individually applied, Jim, to the dial. They're actually sealed on the back side of the dial. They go through the dial, and you can see the magnification bubble over there just above the date to make it a little bit easier on the read. But let's not overlook here, too, the movement that's in this piece, Jim. It is
Ronda.
a Ronda StarTech 5040D, tenths of a second, and a 10-hour counter, add and split functionality, 6 jewels, completely repairable. Really a world-class Swiss quartz chronograph movement, Jim.
I really do dig this silver tone dial. The black is a great classic look. Do not pass by these. Grab it while you can. Look at the price on your screen for $177. We're keeping at its introductory price. Now, those prices do go up over time. It depends on the item and popularity and whatnot. It could go up next week. It could go up a year from now. I don't know. But the point is, grab it when you see the good prices. There is the new Divers Flip Lock safety clasp with the micro adjustments.
And?
The dual pushers.
And I love the push buttons. That's one of my favorite things.
Scissor style deployment inside.
And it does have the micro adjustable. But such a classy piece. You can wear it for every day with, sport, but it also goes right into the boardroom, Jim. Let me give a quick look with a suit here.
The reason why Larry pointed that out is a lot of people are scared when they hear, I have to cut my rubber strap to size the watch.
Check that out.
Because you're worried about, well, in the wintertime, my skin shrinks, in the summer I swell up, or I might gain or lose weight, and then I'm locked into a cut size strap. No. You have a micro adjustment that gives you about an inch of play through in there, so you can very quickly, with a spring bar tool, which would be this guy right here, you can very quickly make that adjustment and done. You're in a couple of seconds, you can make it up to an inch smaller or larger. We've got to move on. We're only in our first of 3 hours. Trust me, there are many more carnival tricks on the way. This is going to be nutty, crazy, absolutely insane. Don't forget today's top value is here, V09077. It's $64.27. Your 44mm mechanical automatic Skelton will get delivered to your door if you choose value pay for only $16.07 and a one-time $9.99 shipping and handling charge. Silver tone, black, gold tone, or the brand new rose tone for this 44mm size. Making our way now to another popular model. This V91456 is the Alpine Slalom. Now, we're going to have a couple of different ones here. We've got this version here with the silver tone blue or silver tone black. If you want to go even uber sportier, maybe you'd like black IP against blue or red. V91541 would be that number. Now, we're going to start with the silver tone versions and make our way over to the black-tastic version. I want to show this to you in a full tour before I put it on the wrist, though, because there's a lot to love. Number one, the new size. Larry, tell us how big this got.
This is 52 millimeters,
My
Jim.
goodness.
Still got the same scalloped edges on the case.
You went up 8 millimeters.
Yeah, it's a big one, Jim. 52. It still has the big sloping lugs, though, so it wraps the wrist really, really nice, as you can see. Got the nice domed crystal. There's your color-coordinated skeletonized rotor. As I said earlier tonight, we've become known for our skeletonized mechanical automatics, and here's just another example of a different look of a skeletonized mechanical automatic. And here's got the nice mesh style bracelet that has the steel grommets and the tang buckle, Jim.
Yeah, you've got a standard buckle on this watch. You've got the steel keepers. Now, by the way, if you are below a 7 1/4 inch wrist, this will not size down to fit you. There are not enough holes on there. They can only put so many holes. This will go up to about a 10-inch wrist, so a bigger wrist would want to wear this watch. Now, here's the trick. You're looking at it going, but Jim, I got a 7-inch wrist, but I've got to own this new version. I love it. Here's what you do. You buy this. The bracelet is on a quick release pin system. You can replace it with a shorter strap in leather or exotic or whatever you want to do. And Stuhrling, by the way, does have additional quick change straps that you could purchase additionally from them. If you've got to have the look of that case, that new dial and everything else, and you have a smaller wrist, you would take that route. I am right on the border. I used to be an 8-inch wrist, and I'm going back down to where I was in 04, which is 7 3/4 inch wrist. I've only got one more hole that I can go to here, and then I'd be done. So I'm going to say 7 1/4, 7 1/2 inch wrist is the smallest that can go into this. But you know what? That's a big honking watch anyway.
Yeah, well, I wear an 8, and it fits me really nice. But you're absolutely right, Jim. For all those guys out there that are those 8 1/2, 9-inch, 9 1/2 inch wrist guys that are always saying, hey, nothing fits me. For you big-wristed guys, this one's going to fit you, okay? This will accommodate maybe even up to a 10.
All right, now you've also got your 20-jewel 90089 movement inside. Tell us what separates that caliber from your others.
Well, we've perfected it. We've been using the 90089 for about 5 or 6 years now, Jim, and it's got 20 joules, 6 beats per second, 21,600 vibrations per hour. It's got about 34 to 36 hours of power reserve. Now, this one, if you notice, Jim, we've given it a little bit different finish. The original 90089s had the scroll work. Here we've got a perlage finish on what's remaining of the top plates, Jim.
Yeah, and when the light hits that perlage decoration, which are those little micro circles, one overlapping the other, it's got that beautiful fish scale pattern. Some industries would call it jeweling. Different industries call it different things. It is absolutely beautiful when the light dances across it. We're going to move on to the black IP version. By the way, check out the loom.
Yeah,
you wouldn't think, but there it is. The cigar-style hands really lend well to that.
They really do.
We're just going to make a clean sweep over to the black IP version. Then we're going to go to the phones. And, oh, thank you. You left the blue one out for me. V91541. I'm putting on the black and blue because this is just
Well, then I'm
rocking.
taking the red, Jim.
You grab yourself the red, and we're going to play with these. Here's your case back. Now, on the black IP versions, you'll have a black IP rotor. So keep that in mind. Let's go to the phones and talk to Bob in Virginia and see what Bob has to say about Stuhrling. How are you, Bob?
Great, Jim. How are you? How are you, Larry?
Good, Bob.
Doing fantastic. What brings you into the show tonight?
Oh, I caught your messages on Facebook and wanted to come in and see what surprises you have in store.
Oh, we
I'll
have
try
some.
to hang with you for the next few hours, but I just got the two of the today's top value.
Yeah.
Good job. Which ones did you get?
The black and the gold.
Nice. So you're gonna have a great everyday wear version and then a dressier version.
Absolutely.
Fantastic.
This will be about my probably 10th and 11th Stuhrlings. I love your automatics and the skeleton watches. They're absolutely gorgeous.
Oh, thank you so much, Bob. I think a lot of people who are picking up 1 and 2 are going to later on say, gosh, I should have gotten a couple more for gifts because I think this is a record for us.
I think it is your least expensive automatic at this point. I don't think you've gone lower than that.
Yep.
I don't see how you
Just
could.
an amazing price. And the greatest thing about them, guys, is for me, they wear the watch and I feel like $1 million. That's what it's all about for me. So.
Well, very much so. Jim, it's like my mom always used to tell me, when the going gets tough, the tough go shopping. I mean, you lose, no, seriously, you lose a job or something like that. You think, oh gosh, I got to watch all my money, which is true.
True.
But you go out there and you buy yourself a new shirt, a new watch, a new pair of shoes, something. All of a sudden you feel like I'm contributing to society again. I'm okay. And it just changes your whole outlook. And
I feel every time I buy new underwear or socks, I feel the same way. I am
anything, but a watch will do that for you. Absolutely, Bob.
Great. Well, thanks again, Larry. Your designs are great. They're just beautiful watches to look at. Make me feel like $1 million. Everybody loves the
thanks, Bob.
Remarks about them.
We love to hear that, Bob.
Much love to you, Bob. Thank you.
Thanks so much. Have a great night. Enjoy your new Winchesters.
Thank you, guys.
All right, take care. Folks, you got two wildly different looks. The red is brilliant red. I mean, it is like a ruby red. Now, the difference here is it will have a black bezel with red screws and a red dial flange or outer dial ring, whereas the blue will have a blue bezel and not have a blue dial ring, but a black dial ring. So they are different enough where you go, I kind of have to own one of each because they're that different.
Yeah.
Look at that. That's like a cherry.
And you'll notice, on the original Alpines, Jim, we had the Arabic 12, 4, and 8. Here they're cleverly done as Roman numerals, but they almost blend into the design that you don't even realize. That's a Roman numeral 12. There's your I 4, which in the watch industry we see that many, many times. And then there's your Roman numeral 8 over there. So
and here's your loom again.
And there's those cigar-style hands that really glow like a Christmas tree with this luminescence here.
I want to show you the decoration on this movement again. Once you see the light pass over this, I'm going to kind of jiggle it back and forth a little bit because I like to jiggle it whenever I can. You're going to see the level of decoration on those main plates. Now look at this. Now you see what I'm talking about. If you look right there especially is a good shot of it. Every time you move your wrist, it's going to have, it looks like there's something dancing inside of your watch. And you've got all the harmonizing of your balance wheel back and forth and all the wonderful gears that are in motion. And then you add that to it. People are going to be astounded with what they're seeing on your wrist. There is the blue rotor for the blue version there again. Again, all of the decoration is back there as well. You're buying into a really gorgeous look. And I got to tell you, I'm really impressed that you guys were able to do the ionic plating on mesh, and it's perfect. I mean, there's no gap in color.
Yeah.
There's no, sometimes you do black IP or gunmetal, you can get kind of that rainbow effect or whatever if it's not done right. You've got a really perfect looking bracelet.
Yeah, and as you pointed out, people are going to notice it too, Jim, just out of its mere size. I mean, this one really is a head turner. It's an eye grabber just because it is, so striking on the wrist. This is not for the, the shy of heart. If you're a sheepish type, this is not going to be for you because this is an attention getter, Jim.
All right, there are only about 30 of these left in each. That's how quickly they are selling. Do what you got to do to get on the phone. My goodness. Oh, this next one's going to hurt. This next one's going to hurt. People, you need to be sure you are all over this.
Well, here's our Manchester Aussie, Jim. How we doing here?
All right, V90105. How many are left in gray? Fewer than a dozen. They're about 10 remaining. You got a shot. You better, what they say about the brass ring. You better reach out and grab it. This model doesn't ever come around in the gray. We never get enough. And they still produce it in full quantity. It's just so popular that, we're not the only place that offers Stuhrling. We can't always get them. And the great news is when you're buying from us, though,
can I tell you something? A little secret, Jim?
You tell me.
The gray is the #1 seller here at ShopNBC. But outside of ShopNBC, the rainbow numerals is the #1.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
I think that's because you have a special...
I'm a little influential.
A special affection for the gray, which is a beautiful piece. I mean, it really is. But
here's one right here, V91463, the Gen X Sport. That's going to put the hurting on a lot of people in these new, more vivid colors. The Gen X has always been popular. Then the Sport model came out, and people really went nuts. Partly because, it's just a flat-out beautiful watch, but the other part is the incredible complications that are built into the movement. You're not just getting time of day here. You're getting a 24-hour AM, PM, or if you prefer military time indication, over there at the 9 o'clock position. You are getting your calendar on a wheel at the 12 o'clock, the 1 through 31. But right here, the day of the week, you notice it doesn't go in a circle. It only goes from the bottom to the top, and then it will snap back. That's called a retrograde. What a retrograde does, I'm going to demonstrate that for you. And Stuhrling has done such a great job of highlighting it because it's not just a hand. That hand doesn't just point, but it also highlights the window inside.
The three-dimensionality is spectacular. You actually have a bridge that's built up off the dial with an acrylic window with the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday written on the acrylic. And as Jim points out, that hand serves as a background to highlight the day of the week. And you see all the multi-level of components on the dial. And when you get, Jim is showing you now the three-dimensionality. And when you look at this and you see how high those hands must sit off the cannon pinion in the center to clear the bridge, to clear the day of the week, and also your 24-hour indicator, that is not easy to do. And this is the Citizen Miyota JR00 movement, Jim, and we've been using that movement now in all of our Gen X series.
Now, we have the bronze, which I'm sure we just call brown. It really is a bronze look.
Yeah, I'm going to
We've got the black and red, and here's the black and blue. Again, I'm kind of favoring the black and blue. I know. I'm going to keep doing it all night long, though. Trust me. This is gorgeous. Now, the sport model is larger than the original Gen X. This is about a 49-millimeter case.
49, yeah.
So you've got a good full-size watch because of the curvature and the curvature that's forced into the supported leather strap.
Yeah.
Again, like the Manchester Aussie, it's going to feel a bit smaller because it wraps around you. It doesn't just sit up on top, flat on the wrist, and ride the bone. It really wraps around. Now, Larry has chosen to try on the bronze. We are calling it brown. Chocolate brown dial, but that brown ionic plating, that bronze look,
yep.
Very new for Stuhrling and very, very popular.
Yeah, and as Jim pointed out, as far as the integration of the strap, once again, like the Aussie, you do have those platforms, those steel-supported inserts at the lugs.
That's right there.
Sewn into the strap for seamless case integration. It's properly made, Jim.
It is indeed.
Properly made.
Look at the, oh, we don't have time, but I was going to say the sports stitching, it's done. The back side of the straps, there's sandwich-style straps. And like the red and black, is you see the red on the back of the strap there, same with the blue. I know, it's time to move on. We're kind of running like a speed show here almost, aren't we? My goodness. All righty. Tomorrow, coming up at 8 p.m. Eastern, it is the Tiffany-style Peacock stained glass double-lit lamp. Double-lit meaning not just the lights up in the shade, but the body, the base of the lamp also lights up. So imagine lighting up your Peacock in the middle of the room for all to see. It gives you a soft, warm glow, and that was not supposed to happen. That's just a little preview of what's coming up next. That is not a lamp. It is not a lamp.
But it was a nice photography shot, Jim.
All right, scratch off 1 point for Garrett, our director, tonight. All right, we're going to move on. And you know what? We can even open up with that shot if you want, because I'm particularly proud of that particular photograph.
That's one of yours.
We're going to show you the watch I'm wearing on my own wrist tonight, one that I have adopted as kind of being my current favorite sporty Stuhrling watch, but it's brand new. Realize it only came out about 60 days ago. The 91537. When we got the chance to initially launch these and air these, they sold out immediately. Now they're back. Back at the intro price of $149. This is the biggest, boldest, brashest, most in-your-face watch that Stuhrling has made to date. 52 millimeters. It actually plays like a 55. 53?
It's a 53.
I'm off by a millimeter. Kill me.
Okay.
You cannot go wrong with any color choice. You've got the steel with the ionic plating integrated into the very, and I mean almost jelly soft silicone rubber strap. It is, oh. Now, look at how striking the color is. Look how vivid the color is. You just want to reach the screen and start licking it. Don't lick it while I'm wearing it.
You took my orange one away from me, Jim, but that's okay.
Well, let's go to the photographs. I had a chance to photograph these, and it was another watch that I fell in love with, and I could not stop shooting it. This is what you're getting. Now, notice something right here. Can we pause on that shot? You notice how parts of the bezel, it's almost like a sunset. It goes from a lighter to darker. It's a special way because these inserts are in aluminum. And it's done in a special processing. It's anodization is what it is. So where the light hits it directly, you get a burst of color. And then where the light hits it indirectly, it goes a little bit darker. That's the particular beauty of this watch. Now, as we go through the rest of the pictures, you're going to see. I know I shot the blue also, and there's more of the orange. There's the orange. And see again, look how beautiful the color shift is. And I'm being told that we've discarded all the other images. Now, Larry has put on the blue because I'm wearing my personal watch. I don't need to wear the blue.
This is hot.
Get on it. Larry, tell us about the movement inside.
Well, this is a Ronda StarTech 5030D, Jim, so it does give you add and split functionality. And we talk about StarTech series. For a lot of you at home who are familiar with the brand or familiar with the Rondas, you know it's a world-class movement here. But if you're new to watchmaking, you're not just getting a regular quartz chronograph movement. You can actually do split timing, which means Jim just started the chronograph.
You can run lap times.
Right. So I just now stopped it at about roughly 9 seconds, and I'm going to continue to talk here. Now, if I start it back up again, watch what happens. It jumps ahead to where it would have been had we never stopped it. That is split timing, like a regular stopwatch. But it also has 6 joules. It's got a 12-hour counter down here at the 6 o'clock position. So you're getting a world-class quartz chronograph movement, Jim. 6 joules, by the way, and again, if you're new to watchmaking, typically quartz movements normally do not have any joules. But the StarTech series has them.
Another thing that I love about this particular watch, and it made me fall in love with it, is the deep, 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 deep oil press texture that you see in the dial. That's a big old watch, isn't it? And it's a glossy finish. It's deeply textured. This is what you expect from Stuhrling. Even in a sport watch, they're putting the deep depressions, the deep grooves in there. That is flat out the hotness. I don't care which way you go, orange or blue, but do it and do it now, because these are going to sell it again.
Well, you're absolutely right, Jim. Even for a sport watch, notice the perfect seamless integration of the customized rubber strap. We made a special mold for this strap. You see the Stuhrling S logo actually, you know, cast in right into the rubber strap. That tells you it was custom. It does have the steel inserts also in the rubber strap, but you see...
And those are screwed in, by the way. They're not going to fall out or anything.
You see the seamless case integration here. It's not just some... you know, off-the-rack rubber strap here, so it's properly made. And what I'm trying to show here, guys,
rotating bezel
and it really rotates very nice as well, very smooth. But the curvature and the slope of the lugs, Jim, even though it's 53 millimeters, it wraps the wrist so fantastically. It fits great. You don't feel like you're wearing this oversized watch. It just feels great, and you're going to want to get them in every color. We're very proud of the Enterprise, Jim.
Here's the angle on that to show you. It's like the watch was molded onto my wrist. That's the steep curvature. Again, this is my personal watch, so it's I've worn this a lot, but you'll see that it's just wrapping around. It's perfect, and it's not too heavy either for such a big watch. All right, I know we got to go. I'm so excited about this watch. I want you to get it. Come back next hour, because when you see the Admiral, you're probably going to flip out like I did. I've already picked, I'm buying an Admiral. There's just no way around it. We've got today's top value. We're going to revisit that again next hour. It's $64. Forget just buying it for you. That's a giftable price point. You're giving a gift for $16 a month of a mechanical automatic. You're a cheapskate if you don't do it. You know you got a buddy that wants a watch, and if you don't buy it, I'm going to call you on it. Hey, come back next hour.
Give yourself the bedroom you can't wait to sleep in and wake up in during the semi-annual white sale. Featuring sheet sets, mattress toppers, pillows, and more, all up to 50% off and on 3 value pay or more. Tune in throughout the week, plus every day 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll help you take the guesswork out of shopping for your bedroom so you can focus on what's most important in your home. The semi-annual white sale on ShopNBC.
Sunrise Style is all about making the look, your look, right now.
It's a fresh new approach to finding your personal style. It's the latest tips and tricks from the fashion experts.
It's a brand new fashion feature every week. Why? Because who knew that one look could have endless possibilities?
Bottom line, it's the ultimate girl's guide to looking good and feeling great.
It's sunrise style, and it's only on ShopNBC.
You can track your ShopNBC purchases, view order history, and check your value pay schedule. You can do it all on my account at ShopNBC.com. It's so easy. Just click on My Account at the top of the page. That's where you'll find all your shopping information, past and present, without having to make a phone call or wade through a pile of paperwork. Plus, you can edit your credit card information, sign up for ShopNBC emails, and so much more. Do it all on My Account. My Account at ShopNBC.com. Be good to yourself.
You're gonna want to be here when this airs. I'm gonna show this to you live in a moment. Something I haven't done in a while. I'm forcing everyone's hand to show that live. I am in love with that watch. I will own that watch in many colors. All right, we're gonna do a very quick preview for you. My name is Jim. We're here with Stuhrling Original for 3 hours tonight, including celebrating their today's top value, which is off to a roaring, screaming success. Congratulations. Here, V91600. Stuhrling does not do a lot of divers. You want to get into a really, really cool watch, pick this up. 50 millimeter case. Now, I'm not making this up. 50 millimeter case, $84.67. Surprise! That's right. I want to see your surprise face. Oh. For value pays $21.17. And by the way, we're going to have like a lady-size version coming up a little bit later as well. Another new one, the Excalibur V91602. Choose from orange, black, or blue. Oh, boy, this watch is hot. This one gets me giggly in all my tickly spots. $199.42. 3 value pay is $66. I told you we had exciting stuff. Can't you feel it? You can cut the excitement with a knife. All right. V91603. I am so in love with this watch. I am laying claim to it right now. The green is cool, and I will show you the green later. But this in the orange. Now, it's about it says 52 millimeter. It feels a touch bigger to me, but it could just be an optical illusion. The way the strap is beveled, okay? I mean, take a look at that. The way the case fits, the depth of the dial, the hand applications on the dial, the rich, vivid Duracoat colors. There's the number, V91603. Do not wait for me to air this or you're going to be in a lot of trouble. You're probably not going to get it because I know you guys are as excited as I am. All right, today's top value coming up right now. Now, here's another one to get you excited, V09077. You know, I made a joke on the way out of our last hour. It said, at this price, it's such a giftable price point that if you know somebody, family member, friend, coworker that wants a cool watch and you don't buy this, I'm going to call you out. I'm going to call you a cheapskate. It's $16 a month. You've been looking for that perfect gift to get them into watch collecting, to get them to understand why you love watches as much as you do. Put $16 a month, interest-free, on any major credit card and get this watch on their wrist. And while you're at it, buy one for yourself. Treat yourself. You deserve it. Black, silver tone, gold tone, or the new rose tone in a 44 millimeter case. For $16 a month. Larry Magen, by the way, our very good friend, he is the president of North American Operations for Stuhrling Original. All I can say is a word I don't like to say often, but dude. I mean, there are no words to describe this deal. It's not a quartz. It's a Skelton automatic.
I'm telling you, dog, it's amazing. You're going to call me dude? We're gonna play one upsmanship here. You can call me dude. No, but I'll tell you what. You're right, Jim. This is, and by the way, okay.
Wow.
It even caught me by surprise. Listen, I came in here expecting to knock everybody out of the park at a $69 price point. Then I came in and found out at the last minute, and you've seen these things happen at the last minute. There were no ShopNBC is known for this. They shaved another $5, which doesn't sound like much, but when you start getting down here, that's a lot.
Oh, yeah.
And we got it down to
We're
64,
reaching into somebody's pocket.
And I was
here.
also expecting 3. So it really is a great value, but I don't want to overemphasize the price because, you know, then people are going to get the wrong idea. I think the price is going to make people think, oh God, that can't be, you know, it's, what is it, a toy? It's not. This is a professional timepiece, Jim.
This is a serious timepiece.
It's a very serious timepiece. It's a very fine timepiece.
You know what I want you guys to do? I want you to go visit my Facebook page right now, okay? Go to facebook.com and look me up if you're not already one of the 3,500 friends or whatever I've got. Go out there, and on my wall, our very good friend Bob from up in your area.
Yep.
We were talking about the watch. He says, oh, that's the exact same one I've got. I said, do me a favor and post a wrist shot for everybody to see on my wall. And he did right before I came out here on the air. So, Bob, just to give you a public thank you, go out there and look and see how many people, I don't know, because I've been out here. I guarantee people have reacted to it and commented on it and went, wow, I love that watch. Get it. The 44mm size is awesome. It's perfect.
It's perfect.
Not too big. It's not overbearing in any way, but it's not too small. You know, you've got a bigger dial opening here now to love and cherish more of that movement. Look at that, man. That's the new rose, by the way.
Yeah, it's fantastic. And, you know, we didn't mention it before, but this is 16-karat rose gold layering, Jim. And on the yellow gold, the gold tone version, it's actually 23-karat yellow gold on the stainless steel case on the gold tone. But, again, you wouldn't expect that. You've got the nice 22mm wide mahogany brown strap with the rose tone. And I purposely wore my new tan suit here to go with the earth tones tonight.
You know you're driving the ladies crazy with that. I mean, they're calling in. They're leaving love notes for you. My producer's overwhelmed.
Anyway, listen, you know, it's fun to be here. It's a pleasure to be here. We're on at, well, I guess 1 o'clock in the morning now on the East Coast here. But
that woke a few up.
You know, if you happen to be up at this time, you're up for a reason. You're seeing something extremely special.
Yeah, they're on their way to the kitchen.
You're seeing something extremely special on the screen right now. Do not dismiss it in any way, shape, or form. You're here at the right time because we are known for our Skelton mechanical automatics. This is a very fine timepiece. It has no battery in this watch. If you're new to watchmaking, a Skelton mechanical, there's no battery.
That's right.
It's running off of a mainspring the way that watchmaking used to be 200 years ago.
You have nothing but a series of springs and gears and red ruby jewels and all this creating the symphony of time on your wrist. Perfectly balanced. If you took this movement apart and you laid out all the components, all you have, there's no microprocessor, there's no battery, all you have are a series of inanimate little objects, little main plates, rubies, gears, and springs. That's it. Putting it all together, they're still inanimate. They don't do anything. It's when the watchmaker puts his little touch on it, when he calibrates it, when he adjusts it, when he breathes life into the soul of that movement, then it comes alive. You give it a crank of the crown, you give it a flick of the wrist, and it comes alive. And you're watching it in front of your very eyes. It could just be sitting there still, and that second hand's not moving. And you just do this, and you look down, and you watch it spring to life in front of you. The watch has a soul. It's not just a cold little inanimate object with a battery stuck in it. This has a heart and soul. And I want you to experience that if you never have before. Maybe mechanicals and automatics were outside of the realm of possibility for you financially. You know, because they can get expensive, anywhere from a few $100s to hundreds of thousands of dollars, even millions. Believe it or not, yes, people pay millions for some watches. This watch here is, in my opinion, within the grasp of everybody financially. And if not, even if you're at a time where you're going, you know, $65 right now, that's a couple of meals worth of food at the grocery store. It's $16 a month, interest-free. Break out any credit card you've got. We're not making you sign up for any new line of credit. We're not asking you to overextend yourself. Take any credit card you already own, any major credit card. Slap $16 a month on there. And I give you my personal guarantee, if you've never owned a Stuhrling before, that when you receive this, you will be so surprised, given the price paid, that you will very quickly come back to our shows or come back to our website and look for the next Stuhrling watch that you're going to want to purchase, because you're going to be that excited. And you're going to go, well, if I got this much bang for my buck at a 65, what if I spent 100? Or 150 or 200 or 300 in Stuhrling? What am I going to get for that? The same level, the same multiples of excitement you're going to be getting. This is great.
Well,
thank you, Larry, for bringing it.
Thank you, Jim. You're welcome. And I want to thank the owner of our company for this. You know, a lot of times people mistakenly think I own the company, and I don't. But nevertheless, I know that this was not easy to accomplish. You know, Jim, we've sold thousands of these here at ShopNBC, and we haven't really brought it back now in close to a year in quantity anyway. And, you know, when we did, it was at a higher price than this. And the thing is, when we're able to do a top value, it takes months in the working to really, you know, pinpoint a piece and say, okay, we're going to do this piece. Now we're going to do it in quantity, and we're going to do a second, third, fourth run. You know, now our costs are down, and we bring it, and we're doing it to just bring the funk here so that we can get new people into the brand. Do not be fooled by this price. This is truly a special offer from Stuhrling Original and ShopNBC. We want you to experience this just for fun. Go in, buy the watch, wear it, buy a couple of them, whatever. Wear it out in public, wear it out with, you know, friends or whatever. Go into a jewelry store if you want to, and try and just for fun, blow people's minds. Say, hey, check out my new watch. What do you think I paid for this? Nobody is going to guess that you got it home at this kind of a value. You're going to hear guesses like, especially if you can pull it off. You know, there are famous celebrities that are known for wearing faux jewelry, and on certain people, if you wear this just right, people are going to think you paid $1,000 for it. It has that kind of a look. It has a boardroom look.
Even somebody that really, really knows watches is going to look and go, oh, you paid, you know, $200-300 for that at minimum.
Right.
You paid $64, man.
Right. You do have Christerna crystals here. You do have a screwed-in.
What is the significance of that?
Well, Christerna crystal is proprietary to Stuhrling Original. It comes from, it's actually tempered glass, Jim. It's got more strength.
Very impact
like a
resistant.
windshield. It's got more strength over a spread surface area than sapphire, and it's more scratch resistant than mineral. So you're getting the best of both worlds. We're very proud of Christerna, Jim, and we use it exclusively.
All right, we got to move on. I know hundreds of you are on the line. Stay there. If you buy just one, you're making a mistake. Check it out. Coming up a little bit later, the 91568. Now, it says new today. I've actually aired this before, though. It was a...
This is the blue dial. Blue dial.
Oh, blue dial.
Blue dial.
Thank you for catching that. Silver tone dial. White dial.
Yeah, silver white, yeah.
So, my apologies. You are absolutely correct. The blue dial, $229.50 for value pay. Oh,
that's a hottie.
I love the Challenger Pro. That's a hot-looking watch. There's a lot of detail you're not seeing there. Wait till we get to it. And the Manchester Aussie in the all-black IP, day-date automatic on rubber.
This is the new Lion, Jim.
The who?
The Manchester Aussie.
Lion?
That's it.
Okay, why is it called the Lion?
Well, this is the new, you know, it's the big one.
It's bigger?
It's 49.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
If I'm lying, I'm dying.
It's actually it's 47 by 47. It gives you a 52.5 millimeter case equivalency, Jim.
You make funny. All right. It's going to be one of those nights, I'm telling you right now. Let's get into our new item here. Part of the Metropolis collection. It is the Metropolis, the 91414. You know, you think you're looking at the watch going, I think I know what's going on here. No, you don't. If you've not seen this watch presented, you don't know. If you haven't seen Larry and I present it, you really don't know. The 91414. Now, there's only single digits in the rose tone. If you want the hot black, you've got to call now as well because it's going to go. I want to show you. I'm just going to move it a little bit.
Okay.
Larry is going to give you the commentary. You know what I'm about to do here.
Yeah.
Tell us what makes this movement so incredibly special.
Well, first of all, it is a mechanical automatic, so it's everything you're seeing on this watch is being done with a spring. No computer chip here. The first thing you'll notice down there at the 6 o'clock position on that subdial, you'll see a rotating ring, okay? That's actually your seconds indication down there. You'll see a little pointer at the very bottom. Okay, that's your seconds as you see the disc rotating by, counting up the seconds there.
So it's not a hand rotating, it's a disc for your seconds, but it's not just one complication.
Correct. Coming off of the same axis in that subdial, you have your day of the week. Now, you really have to stop and think about that. Off the same axis, seconds and your day of the week, that in itself is a tremendous feat in watchmaking. And Jim just went around enough to change the day of the week. And you see your day of the week is actually framed. It's showing Thursday in the frame right there. So that is a tremendous feat in watchmaking. And then off of your center axis where you have your hours and minutes, again, off the same center cannon pinion, okay, you have a retrograde date pointer.
Now, let's stop for a second.
This is amazing.
You have on the same cannon pinion, hands, hours, and minutes. So those are obviously underdriven for each. Those are going in a circle like any normal hand would. But you have a third hand attached to the same attachment point that does not go in a circle. Right. It stops here and then retrogrades back to the beginning.
Right.
That is absolutely mind-blowing. Then you've got the dial work, but now look at the size. Now, it's got a dual deployant clasp where you do need to cut the rubber strap to fit. Look at that on the wrist, and you tell me if that is not one of the most impressive watches you've ever seen.
And, you know, if you come in real tight, you see the different layers and elements to the dial. You've got about 5 different main elements here with a base dial, and you've got the arc for the calendar date and different pieces going on the dial, the applied indices, and then the big chunky steel case. And now Jim is going to show you the case back as well. You see the screwed-in case back with the screws in the 4 corners. You see the Geneve striping on the pillar plates and back plates, and the damier finish on the rotor as well. There's a recessed pusher over there. That's going to be able to set your, I believe that pusher's for the date, Jim, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Okay.
We already have to go on. Rose tone's almost gone, single digits. Black will then remain.
This. It's a collector's dream.
This is what's so exciting about Stuhrling. And I've said this many times before, Stuhrling is one of my top favorite brands out there because they will always surprise you. You will always get details that should cost you thousands. The dial work, the extraordinarily complicated movements. Larry, you are full of surprises, man.
Yeah, it's a hottie. Now, this is brand new, Jim, coming up here. Oh, well, look at here with the Admiral.
We got other goodies. Oh, boy. This is screaming, isn't it? V91603. The Admiral, there's 2 dozen left in the orange. Now, I told you, don't wait for the end of the hour. Buy that now. 226.82.
There's a lot to talk about
Ronda
with that
50-30D movement.
200 meters too, Jim.
Yeah, that's right. The second watch that you've made in a true diver's capacity.
Yep.
I love that
now,
watch.
speaking of 200 meters, Jim.
We're going to go into a diver in a second here.
Yeah.
So that'll be the third then.
Well, this is a new thing this year, and I tipped it off about 3-4 months ago. I said, coming up, we're going to be getting into that. We got some new testing equipment in our factory, Jim.
This is the thickest and heaviest bracelet you've ever made.
Probably.
Well, you know,
feels like the Challenger Pro is pretty thick bracelet. Yeah. But to go with this case, this is a pretty beefy watch, and this is something we put together as a surprise here with ShopNBC, and this is a little bit out of the box for us, Jim.
It is. V91600. Choose from blue, black, yellow, or orange going by dial color. A surprise price of $84.67. 4 value pays of $21. Let's show you a slightly more feminine size. If you prefer to go that route. You don't want the 50 millimeter. This is 41, V91598. We're calling it the midsize. The other big difference here is you're going to have these engraved center links that are filled with enamel. There you go. You're going to go by bezel color there because they're all black dials. Before I do anything, I want to show you this bracelet. Each link is at least 5 millimeters in thickness. I have never seen a Stuhrling bracelet this thick, ever. It's not happened ever before. Massive, solid end link with the Stuhrling logo engraved. Look at that. This thing is a beast. And this should be a couple $100, man.
It's 200 meters, Jim. You know, again, around here at ShopNBC, sometimes we take for granted 200 meters. But for Stuhrling Original, this is a new thing this year. 200 meters water resistant, that goes to the make of the watch. Whether or not, and I understand, Jim, 99% of the individuals that are going to buy this watch tonight are not going to go diving. You're certainly not going to get me dipping down there, Jim. But here's what I'm saying, though. It doesn't matter. It goes to the make of the watch. Okay, a 200-meter water-resistant make at this price point, and with the diver's flip-lock safety class with push buttons. You wouldn't expect it at this price point, Jim. You do have the micro-adjustable pinholes, but also...
Let's show all the colors.
Sure.
I know you kind of have absconded here with the orange.
Oh, you want me to put it back?
That's okay. You got a close enough proximity to the other samples here. You've got yellow. You've got the black with the green. There's the orange, and I'm wearing the blue. Oh, man, orange, what a great diver's look that is, right there.
Yeah.
And I'd be all over the black with the green, too.
And you know...
All right, let's go to the phones. Let's see what everybody else thinks. I'm blown away by 2010 Stuhrling.
Yeah.
You guys are doing, you're shaking it up, man. Let's talk to Sean out in Arizona. How are you tonight, Sean?
Hi, gentlemen. I'm doing pretty good.
Fantastic. Say hi to Larry.
How you doing, Sean?
Hi, Larry.
Is this Sean M?
I'm sorry?
Is this Sean M?
No.
Oh, okay.
Different Sean.
I'm a fairly new customer to ShopNBC, but I tell you, I just accomplished two major feats. I quit smoking on July 8th.
Congratulations!
My 1-year anniversary. And
Very nice.
I had a 44th birthday on June 29th. And I tell you, today's top value, that rose tone just stood out at me like, I don't know, it was like shining through the television, and oh man, it's an awesome watch. I have a skeletonized already, but I told myself I'd never buy another watch that was my lifetime watch. Well, you changed my mind.
Well, that's great to hear.
Watch.
So this is your first Stuhrling original, is that correct?
Yes, and I'm very, very proud to say that I'm going to be owning
well,
one. Finally.
Welcome aboard to Stuhrling Nation, Sean.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
I have to commend you on accomplishment number one was do nothing but to serve accomplishment number two year after year. I did the same thing. A year ago, June, I quit smoking, and one of the hardest things that anybody can ever do. I'm so glad to hear that. And this is a great way to commemorate that, because you can look back over the years, and you'll remember when you bought that watch, why you bought that watch to commemorate that great event. So congratulations.
Exactly. Every time I look at that watch, it's going to remind me of that, and I appreciate you noticing that as well. Thank you so much, you guys.
Good job, Sean.
Thank you so much, Sean. Take care.
All right. Take care.
That's great. That's fantastic. Anybody gets the chance to do that, go for it. It's great.
I agree.
I was a smoker for 23 years. I'm only 36, so do the math. I started really young, and I couldn't feel more free in my life. So congrats to all of you that have made that leap. Going back to the watch here, so you've got a 50-millimeter case. It's about 14 millimeters in thickness. So it's a good, solid, massive chunk of steel. The bracelet. Oh, man. The bracelet alone weighs as much as some entire watches. It is a behemoth. Look at the bezel. Again, you've got that wave pattern, enamel-filled. Follows the wave pattern that's embossed into the dial.
I wear an 8, Jim. Look at this.
You've got a good over 9-inch capacity on this bracelet as it ships, and you can get more links if you need to. You've got the calendar at the 6 o'clock position, screw-down crown, 200 meters water resistant. Whoa, wait. Not only is it a unidirectional rotating bezel, it feels, I know it's not because it can't be at this price, but it has this fluid gliding like it's an oil-injected bezel. I know it's not for $65, or excuse me, for $85. It's not going to be, but
I really don't know.
It feels, it's a solid locking mechanism, and you can feel the 120 click in there, but it's like it's gliding. I am so impressed. I'll be honest with you. And my number one favorite type of watch is a diver. I own more divers than anything else. I've got divers that range anywhere from, $100 up to $8,000, $9,000. And I'll tell you right now, this is a surprising watch. This is a watch that you could lay it down and put it next to a watch, let's say $1,000, just to be fair. And you're going to pick this up and go, besides maybe a movement, I don't see an advantage between that $1,000 watch over this. And folks, I'm talking about an $85 watch here, not $200, $300, $400, $500. You are nowhere near the price level of that other watch, and it feels so comparable. And yeah, we've got great luminescence on here. So you're firing on all cylinders with this timepiece.
Well, you know, we were bringing it for 2010, Jim. You know that, and you know, I think we have more coming in our water sports collection, Jim. This is our Regatta Valiant, brand new, never seen before, and you know, I personally could not wait for you to get here to the studio to see this piece, Jim, because I knew it was here.
I'm blown away.
And you and I had lunch today, and you hadn't seen this one yet.
No.
I know. I didn't even have it at the...
And it's funny, the last time I visited New York, you know, you and I sat down with the owner of the brand, and I said, you know, you guys need a signature solid diver. Who knew? Trust me, for $85, I know what you're thinking. Buy it. Yeah. Buy it and surprise yourself.
It does have a Swiss round to quartz movement as well, Jim.
It's like I'm dropping a hammer on the table.
Yeah.
Folks, this is crazy. You could tenderize meat with this thing. We'll call this your meat hammer.
But, you know, again, with the Swiss round to quartz movement,
I'm gonna keep one of these out
divers
here.
flip lock safety class with the push buttons. I want to emphasize that because you wouldn't expect it at this price. 200 meters, screw down crown. Great value right there, Jim.
Now, here's the one we are calling midsize, and I want to show you why I think that sounds kind of silly. Now, I'm laying the midsize down next to the original. One could be a carrying case for the other. This, to me, 50 millimeters, big old burly man size.
Yeah.
Then you look at it's a 41 millimeter. Now, you go back 5 years, 41 millimeter was a full-size men's watch.
Right.
And I'm not saying that it's not. There are plenty of guys that are not 6 foot tall and 200 pounds that you need to wear a smaller watch. I get that. I'm not talking to you. But for the guy that likes a big, beefy sport watch, this is going to be the companion piece maybe for your wife or girlfriend, or here's the other thing, maybe you got a teenage son, and you want to get him into watch collecting. Dude, right here.
And Jim, also, even on the midsize, we still have the 200 meters water resistance. We still have the push button on the clasp with the diver's flip lock here. So, you know, and you also have a Swiss Ronda as well on the quartz movement. It's not the same. One is the 505, the other is the 515. So, but both Swiss Ronda quartz movements, Jim.
It's $85. It's for a value pay of $21.17. I am going to put this on because I do want you to see what it looks like.
Are we calling that one the orange? Is that how they're doing it?
We're going by the bezel color.
Okay, so red, brown, orange, and green. Okay, I got you.
Now, again, it's not a very long bracelet. Again, indicative of a lady's watch, but there it is on the wrist. It's going to fit up to about an 8, maybe 8 1/4 inch wrist as it ships. You can always get additional links from Stuhrling by calling them if you'd prefer. So there it is. Now, again, 41 millimeters. It's still a good size watch.
Well,
here's the deal.
Listen,
you go out, you buy that dive watch that we all know for $5,000. It's a 40 millimeter watch. So don't get me wrong. Plenty of dudes are still running around with a 40 millimeter watch and paying good money for it.
That's right.
Don't let me sway you on that. I'm just saying that you've got two drastically different sizes, and keep that in mind.
And on a lady, this would be pretty bold.
It would be. And also I look at the coloration, the colors that are filled into the center links. That's very fashion forward. Maybe more fashion forward than I would personally go.
Yeah, I would actually say, you know, I think this would be great for the ladies. But again, it's pretty bold for the ladies. But those ladies that are looking for those bolder timepieces, this is for you, the Regatta Valiant midsize. All right.
I think it's time to tell you, I hate to even do this because that just means they're going to, are these unlocked?
Those aren't tonight, are they? That's tomorrow night, isn't it?
Why even bother? Even it's not going to be aired now.
It's going to be tomorrow night, right, Jim?
I would say tomorrow night, but no, you're going to be buying it right now or you're not going to get it. It's the...
Revelation.
Thank you. The Apocalypse Revelation Tourbillon. If you don't know what a tourbillon is, I don't have enough time to get into it here. That's coming up tomorrow. No, it's not. It's going to be sold out in the next 5 minutes now. $998.39. Now remember, numbered limited editions. How we even have any, I don't know. There are not many here.
And that is the price it's going to be tomorrow night.
That's a real functioning tourbillon, and it's not $100,000. So just telling you, buy it. All right. We've got 3 choices in this watch. Maybe one sold out. Okay, the tourbillon is on hold, so you got to tune in tomorrow night.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
All right, there are actually 3 color choices in this watch. Apparently one has sold out. I don't know. We're going to double check on that. But you've got a choice in, we do have all 3. Okay. They're all going to be in the black ionic plating. I am kind of gravitating toward the orange like I did on the Admiral.
What's the third one? The blue, right?
You've got blue, orange, or I'm guessing we're calling the other one green. We are. Wow. This thing's a behemoth. Yeah, I want to measure this if I can. I'm going to dazzle you with my moving fingers till the watch comes back.
This is awesome. It should be a 52, Jim.
Yeah, but I want to do a different measurement.
Okay.
I want to show you the size, including the protected crown.
Yeah, it's like 58, I think.
60.3.
Oh, really? Okay. That's right.
So at the largest point, 60 millimeters. Now, oof! Look at this.
This is awesome.
Do you realize that is a function? A lot of people just put a little lever on there and it doesn't actually work.
Mm-hmm.
This actually will push in the crown.
Oh, this is the green. Okay.
As you push that in, the anodized pushers, the anodized bezel, the contrast stitching, the padding. This thing is just awesome. There's Larry wearing the green.
You know, this is actually the third model now that we've done. No, check it. The fourth model we've done with the crown, you know, with the
protected crown
with
guard.
the bridge and the locking cover for the crown. The first one was the genuine elephant strap safari about 5 years ago.
Way back when, yeah.
Okay.
We were so much younger back then, Larry.
Yeah, I know, and I've got video of us, and I was about 60 pounds lighter too. But in any case, and you know, you look like a young kid in those days, Jim. But in any case,
I look like an old man now.
That's right. But then we came out with the Expedition, which was a great piece. And then last year we came out with our version we called the Excursion, which looked very similar to this. But now we've really stepped up, in my opinion, the quality of the make on this particular timepiece, Jim. This is the Excalibur, and it has gone larger now, as you point out. It's did you measure 52 millimeter case design?
Yeah, 52, then it goes out to 60 with the
check
crown
out
guard.
the genuine leather strap, Jim, with the kind of quilted styling we have. It's done with a heat seal, as you can see, in between the pads right there. But
I want to show you something else, too. Now, there's only about 24 of each. If you want that vivid blue, by the way, you best do it now, because I'm not even going to get a chance to air it at this point. There are so few of them. I get this question a lot, and I'm going to show you here live. As you'll notice,
50-40. Okay.
At some point, somebody was setting up this watch, and the crown was pulled out to pause the time, and they hit some pushers. And that misaligned the chronograph hands. I start, and I stop, and I go to reset, and it won't line up. That does not mean the watch is defective. Do not ship it back. On or on a StarTech, I pull the crown out.
You have to open the bridge first.
Oh, you know what? I forgot about that.
Yeah,
so let's
you gotta
open
unlock
up,
the bridge.
Unlock the crown.
Yeah.
And I pull the crown out to the second click. I depress both pushers until the hand moves.
For about 3 seconds. Now you're in the corrective mode, Jim.
The top pusher will advance the selected hand.
Yeah.
The lower pusher will allow me, if I'd like to select a different hand. And that one always takes the longest because it really belts around there really, really quickly. So bear with me for a moment as I recalibrate the 1/10 of a second hand.
Right.
Okay, boom. Now, when I'm done, I can just simply push the crown back in. You'll notice that lever did work. It did push the crown in. It's not just there for decoration. Now I can start, I can stop, and I can reset, and it re-zeros properly. Right. So there is a different procedure per different caliber, but that's how you do a StarTech series movement.
Right.
So your watch ain't defective. Don't ship it back to your retailer. You're in good shape. You can recalibrate it yourself. Green, orange, or that mysterious blue. It's like a mystique, isn't it? Because I don't have the sample here to show you, but trust me, look at the watch on my wrist.
I think
the
somebody
Enterprise.
made off with our sample, Jim.
It's every bit as vivid as the blue Enterprise that I am wearing, to give you a visual indicator of it, and we're already going to go. The 91602, they're screaming out the door, 3 value pays of $66. They're going to be gone.
We're proud of that one, Jim.
As well you should be. 2010 is the year of Stuhrling, I say.
Thank you.
It really is. And, oh, hey, check it out. Today's top value.
Listen, you know, this thing is going to rock the house all day long, Jim. This is just one of the best today top values that we've ever done at this particular price point to get a Skelton mechanical automatic here. Now,
I want to do something different. I'm going to beg my director to throw out convention here. I don't want to show all the server shot and all the fancy stuff. I want to go here first. I want you to understand. I know, that wasn't very good begging. I just don't have enough time. I want you to understand what's so special about this watch. I want you to look at this bracelet design. The blued screws, the thickness of the bracelet, the custom-made dual deployant with the placard, the overall shape of each individual link. There were comments being tossed around on the internet, I'd say about a year ago, and people were going, they were just grumbling, grumble, Stuhrling this and Stuhrling that. When they put out a new model, it's always on a rubber strap. When are they going to make a bracelet? So what they did this year was to stop all your grumbling. They've produced some magnificent bracelets. Not only are you getting an astounding bracelet on this Challenger Pro, the 91568 gives you the enamel-filled, textured wave pattern bezel that is so intricate in its manufacturing. I know of companies that spend less on manufacturing their entire cases than what Stuhrling has spent to create just the rotating bezel alone. Cabochon crowns.
Yep.
Cabochon pushers. This watch is about excess, about being over the top. And then when you look at it on the wrist, you see where it all pays off because everybody's going to be staring at you.
This is hot. I mean, listen, our Challenger Pro, Jim, with our Challenger and Challenger Pro, these were in development for more than 2 years. It took 2 years and 2 months, Jim, and we first came out with the rubber strap version, then the leather strap, and then the Pro version on this bracelet. And this bracelet, as you point out, is spectacular. This is a 50-millimeter case design, Jim. We do have a StarTech 5030D in here, so, you know, again, nothing but the best.
I will tell you, it wears smaller than 50, though. It does. It feels like I'm wearing a 47, 48
You want me to
watch.
measure it, Jim?
No, not at all. I'm just telling people out there it's one of those watches that will play smaller on the wrist.
It could be a 49. I'm going by memory here. It might be a 49.
Well, I'm just trying to point out.
Yeah.
While it's a 50, I don't want you to get scared if you hear over 48 and you go, oh, it's too big. This is going to wear more like a 48 on the wrist, 47, 48. It's substantial. It is one of the heavier timepieces that Stuhrling. As a matter of fact, if you take out of the equation that great $85 diver we showed you about 10 minutes ago, this would then be the heaviest Stuhrling that's available. The 91568, it's substantial, it's beautiful, you've got the Swiss rounded movement, you got a textured dial, you've got beautifully textured hands even, skeletonized hands I should say, the cabochon crown, cabochon pushers.
Looks like a big ship's wheel, the way that the teeth kind of go into the bezel, doesn't it? You know, like a big wheel on a ship. But you've got that fan blade for the second hand over at 3 o'clock, Jim, too, which is kind of
unique. It's like a windmill.
Yeah. Very decent.
Look at this. Look at the crown even. You've got that band of blue going around. I mean, do you realize how expensive these details really are? I'm glad you're picking this up. A lot of people are in love with this watch. And tonight, for the first time, you're seeing the blue dial. So congrats. Great blue jeans watch. All right. I'd like to show you our Tiffany-style Peacock double-lit lamp in the stained glass Tiffany-style look. The Peacock lights up, man. Tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern, you're going to get a surprise price of $244.68. It is back in stock after being sold out for 6 months. I better not let my wife see that show because that's going to end up, we're going to end up with a pair of those, one on each side of the couch, and I know it. I know it. And I love it, but you don't realize how much I've spent since we moved at the beginning of the month. I'm done spending on this new house. And she will see that and go, ooh, must have. Just like you will at that surprise price, must have. All right. You're sitting back and you're grumbling again. Grumble, grumble, grumble. You know, all Stuhrling's doing is making big giant watches. No. There are still classic size watches that Stuhrling is manufacturing, will continue to manufacture. They are following trend, and trend is bigger right now, period. But V91243, Larry, tell them the size on this watch.
This is our Mariner chronograph, Jim. I believe it's a 47.
There's no way. No,
46?
I will counter you on that. I'm going to measure it myself.
44?
43 millimeter case.
Okay.
According to the digital calipers, 43 millimeter case.
Okay, 47 with the crown, sorry. Jim.
Yeah, if you want to count in the crowns, all that
You're
kind
right.
of good
You're
job.
right, Jim.
Now, I will give you one caveat, one warning here.
Yes.
Without cutting the strap, At 7 3/4 inch wrist, I can wear this as it sits. So if you're an 8 inch or above, you're going to need to replace that strap with something different. So just keep that in mind. It's $80 on clearance, $79.82. 3 value pay of $26.61. Look at the texture in this dial.
Yeah.
And what kind of movement might that be, sir?
Let me double check it here, Jim.
Be a Miota OS 20 movement, sir, I do believe. Because you had the wait, no. Yes, it is. You got the 24-hour indication
it's the OS 20 because I wanted to check because we have another version that has an SII with the second hand split with the chrono. So I did want to check it, but you're right, Jim. It is the OS 20 with the 24-hour indication, and you have the small seconds over at 3 o'clock.
So what you've got here is your time of day plus calendar plus a chronograph, which is a stopwatch. And on top of that, you have basically it's an AM, PM indicator, or if you don't follow military time, somebody says, meet me in the parking lot at 1400 hours, you can look down at your wrist at that 24-hour indicator and realize he's requesting your presence at 2 p.m. So at least you know what time you're going to get your butt kicked. 3 value pay of 20, meet me out in the parking lot at 1400 hours. Three value pay of $26.61. Brown dial, silver tone dial, or black dial.
Mm-hmm. And I guess the one that's predominantly silver tone is silver tone, and the predominantly black is the black.
Yeah, you want to go by the main dial, the top half of the dial, or top 2/3 of the dial. Let's go back to the phones. We're going to talk to David in New York, see what he's got to say about all this. How are you tonight, David?
Hello, David. How are you?
Hey, Jim, this is Dave from Facebook. I got the Mustang.
Oh, hey, what's up there, dude?
Hey, what's going on, buddy?
Good to hear from you. Thank you for calling in, by the way.
Yeah, no problem.
Now, you're a friend with Larry at Facebook, too, right?
Yeah.
Good. Because if not, he could use some more friends. He's lonely. So what's going on, man? What'd you pick up tonight?
Oh, I got the, I got the Admiral.
Oh, brand new, great piece.
I got the Challenger Pro.
Wow.
And
He's
I got
going
one
big.
more. I got the red and black mid-size Regatta.
Did you? You got a mid-size. That's shocking.
You bought the mid-size as a gift. Is that right, David?
No, it's for me.
Wow. So you're going to go for that
Challenger
giant
Pro
Admiral.
and the Admiral to go with the mid-size. That's unique.
Yeah, I just got in the mail actually today. I got the Spirit automatic.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
Black.
Very nice.
Well, you are
I
racking
love
up.
their watches. They're very unique.
Yeah, very much so. It's the design element. It's something a little different in every model.
David's going to be eating ramen noodles for the next week. You are purchasing a lot of watches now.
Yeah, I've been going crazy lately. Your mid-year clearance, I bought about 12 watches, and I just bought 3 or 4 tonight.
Wow.
Fantastic. Thank you so much,
by the way,
David.
thank you for making my car payment.
No problem.
Much love to you, David. Thank you.
All right, take care. Good night, guys.
Okay, well, then we'll let you go. Good night, David. I was going to ask him a question, but he's in a hurry. Apparently, he wants to order more watches. Wow, thank you, David. We appreciate the support as always, and I'll see you out there on Facebook. By the way, if you haven't friended me or Larry up on Facebook, do so now, because we like to play. And I have a lot of fun on my page. It ain't all just about watches. I get a bug up my butt sometimes and do some crazy stuff, so have fun with us. Right now, 3 value pay of $26.61. Let's talk about the strap for a moment, because this was one of the earlier models to go into a really articulated rubber strap for Stuhrling.
Yes, actually, this is from our Seafarer series in our water sports collection, Jim, and we came out with the Seafarer series right around midsummer last year, toward the end of summer last year, and we came out with the Merchant, the Mariner, and I think there was we started with 3 models in the series, and it was a series that was intended to basically bring people into our water sports collection, and then eventually, graduate into the higher ends, like the Admiral, which is also in the water sports collection.
We have to go.
But
we didn't have enough time for me to set you up like that. I apologize.
no, that's okay, but it's a good starting point.
All right. Yay! The 91600, the 50-millimeter diver, $84.06. You know what? I'm going to put out a challenge to you. I'm going to lay down the gauntlet right now.
Okay.
If you think that's an $85 watch, like you got in your mind, that's a cheap little, buy it. I will put your money where my mouth is. Buy it. Get it home, and if it ain't worth 5 times what you paid, ship it back. We'll take it back. You get all your purchase price back. You're only out shipping to try it out. That watch is going to surprise a great number of serious hardcore collectors that are going to go, I'm buying this as a beater based on price point, and I'm getting a daily wear watch that I'm not going to want to take off. It is just that cool. Now, speaking of a daily wear watch you might not want to take off, we were talking about the Manchester Aussie last hour. Still people are buying it. Very, very popular. The Manchester this year for 2010 has made a size leap.
Yeah.
And what a leap it is. I mean, this is a, can I have one of the Manchester Aussies from last hour? Item number 3. Item number 3 from last hour.
The orange one right here. Or the gray one next to the orange.
No, at the last hour, yes, that's fine. Perfect. I want to show you just how big the Manchester has gotten. Now, here's the original, and here's the new one. And it's kind of hard to tell because I'm wearing a black shirt behind it. There we go. Yeah, there's a big size difference there, folks. So as we throw this on the wrist, realize it's still, by the way, mechanical automatic.
Same curvature, Jim.
Same curvature, day and date, automatic. Now, here it is on the wrist, and it's in a new, very thick rubber strap. That's a good look. Now, it's big. Keep it in mind, it's big.
Yeah. It's 47 by 47, gives you about a 52 to 53 millimeter case equivalency, Jim. So you're right, it is a big leap. The original one is 41 by 41 with a 47 from 10 to 4. So you're right, it is a big leap, but like you say, we made that leap this year. We started it with the Sport, which was a skeleton version of this, and now we have the Lion, which we're doing in different colors.
I dig this more, I'll tell you why. As cool as the skeleton was,
I agree.
I like the textured center dial.
No, I totally agree with you 100%, Jim, and that's why I went for this piece. Of course, I haven't got this black one yet. This is the new execution here. I got the orange and black, if you recall, which I have in my case in the other room, Jim.
So you're going to get a day and date automatic.
Yep.
Very highly curved case. So if you've been looking at the Manchester Aussie going, I love it, and I'd love to own it, but I don't wear watches that size anymore. I want a big, really big watch. This will wear like a 52 millimeter watch. You know what? Here is a good comparison against the Enterprise,
which is a 53.
So you see, it takes up the same amount of real estate on the wrist, just in square form.
Right, and Jim, again, it has the same curvature, mechanical automatic with day and date, but the rubber strap, Jim, I don't know if we're actually seeing the Stuhrling logo on the side of the strap there because it's black on black or tone on tone there, but these are custom-made, custom-molded rubber straps that give you that seamless case integration. You can feel that extra support at the lugs, Jim. It's not just like flimsy on a pin. It wraps the wrist immediately, so it's perfectly comfortable for a square case watch, Jim.
That's very thick, too. That's about 5 millimeters in thickness. This is not a joke. This is a serious strap. You could do some damage on somebody spanking them with your new strap. $156, flat out, straight out, 156 bucks. Send it out to you. Try this one on for size. I think you might dig it. All right. And, oh, goody, goody, goody. Oh, goody. We're going to the Admiral. Folks, the Excalibur is still available, V91602. If you want the orange, there are only about a dozen remaining, so I would not sit idly by as others snatch up your favorite choice. The blue is the number 2 seller, followed number 3 by the green. And right now, I don't even think I have 5 of these in the orange, but we're going to bring it out anyway. I love this
And did you notice
watch.
the clasp too, Jim?
Yeah, I just realized that when I went to close it. You got, oh, wow. Let me start with the number, V91603. Again, big 52 millimeter case, monstrous size case. Do we have any orange left before I start showing this off? We do. We have, I hear, about 16. So that's it. Or 18. For value pay of $56.70.
Wow.
I don't want you to get too caught up in the color just right now. I want you to look at the depth of the dial and the height of the hand applications on the dial. Now, what I mean by that is, look at the numeral 12, for example. That is set by hand onto this dial. It is run through the dial and soldered from the rear.
It's actually a separate piece, Jim. Not just the numerals 1 and 2, but they're onto a piece, which is a separate piece, Jim, that's sitting above. Do you see it, Jim?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, on the 12, 3, 6, and 9. And then it's also all with the baton indices as well, Jim.
There again, you have that, it's almost like a Chinese throwing star.
Well, it's, this is, from our water sports collection, this is a new direction for the regatta series.
When I think of yachting, I think of ninjas.
It's what it is, Jim, it's a nautical compass style seconds indicator, Jim. Nautical compass style seconds indicator for the Admiral. 12-sided dodecagonal bezel, Jim. Duracoche finish on the bezel and on the pushers. Look how stylish that pusher is up there, for the chronometer. And by the way, Rhonda StarTech, Jim, 50-30 with a 12-hour counter. And look at this custom molded strap, Jim.
This blows me away.
The make on this timepiece. And Jim, from the new Stuhrling collection 2010, 200 meters water resistant, screw down crown. All those Stuhrling guys have, been saying, make the 200s, make the 200s. We haven't done it for until this year. Brand new. You're starting to see some 200-meter water resistance.
Here's the green. Now, the green gives you red accents across the black dial.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you, I have never seen black, green, and red put together before.
It's hot.
That is wild.
Gives you, that Christmas feeling with red and green, but hey, I'm digging it.
Hot diggity.
No, doesn't it?
It does.
Red and green. You think of Christmas, don't you?
I'm filled with Yuletide cheer as we speak.
But this is
I'm going to own multiples of this. I'm going to own the orange. I'm going to end up owning whatever the blue comes out.
Nobody would ever guess what you paid for this price, this watch either, Jim.
No, you could be running around town.
This plays like thousands.
Yeah,
Jim.
people are going to think you spent
thousands.
The money for a car on this thing. It is that impressive. I'm not. Listen, how many times do you really see me get this geeked out over a watch? Once a month, twice a month, maybe. This is one of those watches. I just fell madly in love. I walked in the studio and went, I will own this. I love this strap. That is the hotness. I love this bezel, the colors, the vividness, the clarity of that dial, the clarity of this crystal. I mean, you could stare directly into this and just get lost in the texture of the dial.
Yeah. Von Berg is going crazy this year for us, I'll tell you that right now.
Let's talk about that for a second, because you're dealing with a multi-generational Swiss family, Swiss manufacturer that has also opened facilities in the Far East that manufactures for you specifically on all of your watches.
Absolutely. As a matter of fact, his Far East facility is dedicated solely to Stuhrling Original and has been for the last 3 years. There's no other product coming out of that factory but ours. And I got a good chance to spend quite a bit of time with George in Vegas at the JCK. We had dinner, and George was telling me a lot about the new manufacturing we've been doing this year and how he's been ramping up in so many areas. There's that clasp here with the Stuhrling logo. Again, a new thing this year for Stuhrling Original. But you're right. George is a third-generation Swiss watchmaker, and his family holds a tremendous place in the Swiss lore, Jim. His grandfather was the first one to properly organize an assembly line for Swiss movements.
Are you going to do this in red? Okay. As I'm going to own an orange, a red, and a blue. I see it already. I'm going to own a fistful of these. There are very few watches that I will own many, many multiples of the same model. That's going to be one. It's going to be like my next Subaqua sickness. I'll own 10 of them. I'm loving it. All right, it's time right now where, hi, how are you? That was your world debut. Come back.
So here we go, Jim. The top value.
We're going to go into today's top value as soon as my director hits the button. What an awkward pause this will be. Yeah, I'm going to do something a little bit different, just so nobody else feels awkward. I'm going to put my butt in the camera here, so everybody else feels like they got the full view. See? So, all right. So here we go. See what I sacrificed for my crew. All right, here we go. V09077. Today's top value, screaming for the past 2 hours, as a matter of fact. We launched it just about 2 hours ago. Larry goes back again for the classic look. I want to give you the color references first. Gold tone, there on your screen. Silver tone, the #1 most popular across the series. Tonight, our #1 seller, however, though, is black, followed by the brand new color tone, the rose tone. 44 millimeter case, mechanical automatic movement, skeletonized. On what planet, let's stop for a second here. On what planet do you have the gall to walk into a store or go to a website and go, today I'm going to buy me an automatic skeletonized watch, and not in a little puny 36, 38, a man-size today, 44 millimeter watch, brand new with a full warranty, and I'm going to do it for 65 bucks. Ain't going to happen, folks. I don't care where you're shopping, who you know, or where you go.
And I'm going to only give you 16 and I'll pay you the rest later.
Yeah. You're going to get smacked around like a naughty child. But here, we allow you to get away with such craziness because you know what? Stuhrling and ShopNBC have teamed up for a lot of really great values over the years. This, if I'm not mistaken, again, I don't want to speak out of turn here, but I do believe is the least expensive mechanical automatic skeleton that we have ever seen on its own from Stuhrling. And I would take advantage of it for yourself. Start buying them as gifts. Get ready for your friends, your family members that want to get into watches, whether it's for Christmas or whatever, no occasion. Give them the gift of time.
Just so that we don't get emails or whatever. We actually did do for Christmas last season the him and her set.
Yes, for $99.
Whatever it was, so.
But it wasn't this watch; it was different.
Yeah,
but yes,
right. So comparable, I guess, in price point, so that we don't get those emails and whatever. But we've never done a single skeleton mechanical automatic.
That's why I said standalone.
Oh, you did say
individual.
standalone.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm very careful.
But I agree with you, Jim. This is, probably the greatest value we've ever done on a skeleton mechanical automatic.
And apparently, the magic trick around here is for the host to get up and stick their butt in the camera because there are a lot of people on the phone lines, man.
It's an amazing offer, Jim, and we're proud here of this piece. It's been in the works for the last 3 months, and we did have it last year.
But not in rose.
No, not in the rose tone on the Grand, on the 44 millimeter. That's correct, Jim. But
Isn't that beautiful?
But it was at a higher price point too. So this is like I said in the newsletter ShopNBC put out. It said Christmas time in July. I don't know if you read that newsletter, Jim. I know you get a lot of reading material these days, but it went out today and it said Christmas time in July with regard to the Winchester Grand 2010, and I thought that was nicely put because. To get this kind of a value, this is something you would expect to see us come out the end of November with this kind of a gift item.
Which makes me think, wow, this November is going to be awesome. You guys are going to come out with a $20 automatic.
Well, we are setting the bar kind of high, but just to speak to the watch now instead of to the value here, when you're talking about owning a skeleton mechanical automatic, I want to reach out to those people that have never owned a Stuhrling original before. If you don't know that much about watches, there's no battery in this watch. There's no computer chip. It's running off of a single main spring, the way that watchmaking used to be 200 years ago and more, where you wind the watch, and then by just wearing it on your wrist, it keeps it wound. And here's a nice view of the new exhibition case back where you can see the new refreshed rotor design in a guillotine style, Jim. So you're making a commitment to your own sense of style by showing your appreciation and your affection for watchmaking and sharing it with others, Jim.
Speaking of sharing, because we all like to share, don't we? I would like to share with you some comments that you've shared with us via our website and written little mini reviews. I'm going to read one for you right now. It says, Stuhrling does it again. With the Winchester Grand, Stuhrling has brought a whole new dimension to a floating movement. This model is executed flawlessly, and sticking to the Stuhrling reputation is a classy piece fit for any of your finest occasions. From Panda 03 Bear in Silver Spring, Maryland. I actually happen to know him. His name is Adam. He's a fantastic fella over at WatchGeeks.net. You should get to know him, and he speaks very highly of it. Then we got one that says, glad I bought it. I purchased this watch in the gold with brown strap. Wonderful. Not too big for a woman's wrist. I highly recommend it. That's from Mrs. Peeps in Chicago, married to Mr. Peeps. I don't know if there's a Peeps Jr., but we'll see. 44 millimeters allows everybody to be able to wear it. Now, when you've got an elegant watch that happens to have the way the bezel has been beveled here on this case, if this were a standard round bezel on top of the case, it would actually look a little bit bigger. What they've done here is they've got a sharp bevel on this, and it allows the watch to minimize and look smaller on the wrist. So you're wearing a 44 millimeter that doesn't feel like a 44 millimeter. $16.07. You've got 3 minutes until the end of this hour, and we're going to take a little bit of a break and begin our third hour of Stuhrling. I don't even know what's coming up in the third hour because that cart was not available to me, and I'm trying to get some sneak peeks, and I have no idea where I'm looking.
Did you notice the pumpkin-style crown?
There's another Enterprise. Is the Enterprise back next hour?
Different executions, Jim.
What?
Different executions.
Say what?
Yeah.
Oh, don't tease me like that, man.
But did you notice the pumpkin-style crown over here, Jim?
Indeed.
It's got that knurling, which makes it very easy to pull out and control and wind.
This is still my favorite part, though, of the overall design.
Design, lugs, absolutely. You've got convex sides on the case, which means it's kind of curved out. And as you
hold it right there. Now, you look at that, and you're looking at someone else's wrist from across the table. You're going to think they're wearing like a $20,000 watch.
No one would ever guess. You're going to be blown away here. But again, that beveled bezel kind of seamlessly matches the slope of the convex sides, Jim. It just goes right down to it. And, you know, it just, for whatever it's worth, it probably doesn't mean much to the people at home. But, you know, when our watchmaker would work on this, you know, he could actually remove from the top side on this. You know,
this isn't a top-loaded.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, the back does have an exhibition case back that is threaded.
Okay, so that's probably how it was built. But you're saying they can actually take the bezel off and remove the crystal in that manner.
Yes.
It's not a one-piece case.
That's correct.
Okay, so you got a three-piece case.
That's correct.
Case back, case middle, and bezel.
That's absolutely correct.
Folks,
domed crystal as well. But again, it's about your love and appreciation of watchmaking. And skeletons are conversation pieces, and for that reason, they do make fantastic gift items because of
Let's talk about that.
Because of the wow factor, Jim.
You've got, let's say there's a coworker that you're close with. As soon as you come into work with all these different watches, and they go, yeah, I don't get it. You're always wearing a different watch. Yeah. I own one watch. Why do you buy so many watches? What the dealio? And you want to turn them into, from just a regular consumer into a watch collector like you. Give them something like this. They're wearing, I don't know, a $20, $50, $1,000 maybe quartz watch, bland, boring, whatever. It has no personality. Give them, for $16 a month, mind you, give them the gift of a mechanical automatic skeleton that they can stare into and lose themselves in the drama going on their wrist. And as they're staring into this and they're learning the different components, the balance wheel, the center wheel, the keyless works that function with the pulling of the crown, the blued hands, the different beautiful red ruby jewels, all throughout the movement.
Right.
And they begin appreciating the artwork of what goes into manufacturing. Next thing you know, they're going to have a second, third, fourth, fifth watch, and they can come back to you and go, now I get it, and thank you for birthing me as a new watch collector. We're going to take a little bit of a break here. Larry and I certainly do need it. We're going to toss back a few of bubbly drinks, and we're going to come back with a third raucous hour. Check this out. Here's one we haven't seen in a long time. The Traveler World Timer. Is this the bigger one?
This is the Time Traveler.
The Time Traveler.
44.
Woo! All right, come on back. We'll be here.
Collection of startling beauty and style with unrivaled craftsmanship and quality. That's Design Studio from Bali Jewelry. Conjure up influences of exotic cultures and ancient civilizations. Each piece is handcrafted sterling silver and gold with a spectrum of exciting gemstones. Always classic and affordable. Design Studio from Bali Jewelry, right here on ShopNBC. Are you ready for a party? How about a surprise party? All your favorites from Suzanne Summers. Beauty, fashion, and more, all at incredible surprise prices. All weekend long, it's Suzanne Summers Surprise Party. Get in on the fun with Suzanne Summers, right here on ShopNBC.
Today's top value is always the best value of the day. So make sure to tune in every night at midnight Eastern, where you'll find an exceptional offer on a truly unique and outstanding product. Today's top value is available for 24 hours only, or until it sells out, so act fast. They don't last long. The best part, you have an opportunity for an exciting Today's Top Value every day of the week. Plus, you can find Today's Top Value at ShopNBC.com. Today's Top Value, another great reason to shop NBC.
Oh, have I got something special in store for you. No more butt shots. We're done with all that. I'll be on YouTube. I know it. Anyway, this is the third and final hour for tonight, or for this morning, of Stuhrling Original. Larry's going to be back there. He's back at like 6 a.m., and then he's back in the afternoon, and then back on tomorrow night with me. We're not letting this guy go. He's got a great Today's Top Value. But there are other things at play, and you're looking at your screen right now at the Time Traveler, not the old 40mm version, the 44 V91220. This is a world timer. It's done in such a unique manner that once you've set it, and it's very simple to set, it will give you an instantaneous display of every time zone in the world at a glance and continue running. It's fascinating for $91 on discs, not hands. I do truly love that watch. The Eagle collection, really? $65? Wow. The 90685, the for value pay of $16. Tonight is like giftable price point night. I don't know what happened. You guys aren't leaving again, are you? I mean, you're like clearing out the vault or anything. This is ridiculous. $16 a month.
That is a good point.
Red or blue? Nothing
gets by you, Jim.
And, hey, the ladies' Wall Street Skeleton.
Yep.
Muahahaha. Now, I've never aired this, so I'm going to ask you. This is the one with the Mother of Pearl chapter ring, correct?
Yes, it has Mother of Pearl.
Okay. So $99.67, 5 value pays of $19.93. Very feminine, petite little thing. And that mysterious voice that you heard coming out of the ether, that belongs to Mr. Larry Magen. He is the president of North American operations for Stuhrling Original, and quite a sharp-dressed man.
Well, thank you, Jim. But, you know, my shirts aren't quite as expensive as your shirts.
But look at that tie, man.
Well, this old thing. But listen, it's been great for the first 2 hours. I want to thank everybody for participating. We have one more hour to go, and we're loaded for bear on this entire rotation, Jim. And, you know, you were talking earlier here about the Enterprise. We had the other two executions, the orange and the blue. Well, now take a look at what we've got here. Now, to me, I'm calling it a pink, but I think Shop calls it a purple.
I'm sure we're calling it purple. I want to very quickly clarify. It is purple, but it leans to the side of pink.
Which I dig it, okay? I'm not going to run away from that with you, Jim. I'm digging the pink.
Now, this is the red.
Red's hot.
Red is hot.
Yeah, it's hot.
Get that red, and I'm going to put that on in a moment.
Well, we've got the black that goes with everything.
This, though, and this is something that Stuhrling does not do often, all triple black, and you're going to notice all of the gray that's been done. Now, I don't want to make the comparison because I don't want to sound unfair, but a lot of you are going, hey, is that like, yes, if you were looking at an Invicta Combat Edition watch where they do all black with gray, this is the same except the gray's a little bit lighter. It's not quite as charcoal, not quite as dark. So there's one that will blend well with everything. I am going to put on the red. Larry is strapping on the pink.
Yeah.
Now,
look, I have a purple tie.
I'm wearing my personal Enterprise, so I can give you that personal endorsement. I love the Enterprise.
It's a hottie.
This in the red is awesome. And it's a deep cherry is what I'm going to call it, a deep cherry red. It's vibrant. It's beautiful, it's unique. And if for nothing else, we buy many various different types of watches for their level of uniqueness. And this certainly is going to be at the top level. It's $149. Inside, now I think this is an ETA G10 if I'm not mistaken.
No, StarTech 5030, right, Jim?
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It has, I apologize, it has the 12-hour totalizer at the 6, so my apologies, and that is how you would identify that movement.
Right.
Three value pays of $49, very soft, pliable, silicone-based rubber strap.
Love this rubber strap, guys. You will love it, too. It's so comfortable. And also, Jim, for those guys that have the really big wrist, this is going to go up to about a 10.
Yeah.
Okay?
Now, let's see what Larry looks like in pink. I know a lot of you have wondered that.
Hey, listen, Jim, you know, you and I have gone out to lunch and dinners. You know I actually have some pink shirts in my wardrobe.
You do.
Okay? Now, this is kind of a more, you know, brighter
maybe we'll call
pink.
it fuchsia, because it's a pinky purple.
All right. You want to say fuchsia? To me, it's not even fuchsia, but all right, I'll give you that if you want.
So,
but either way, I mean, it's a great color. I mean, again, this is not for the faint. This is not for the, you know, shy right here. This one stands out. Now, they're all huge. They're 53, but they wear so comfortably with the curvature of the lugs on the wrist, you know, you don't even really feel like you're wearing a big one. But when you have this bright color on the bezel like this is a eye popper.
It is. It will get attention. I'll tell you this right now. If you're thinking of making the move into an oversized watch, you've reached your threshold, you believe it, let's say 45, 46, maybe 48 millimeters, and you keep seeing these big monster 52, 53 millimeter watches, and you're curious, but you're afraid. This is a great one to do that with for a couple of reasons. Number one, the very soft and pliable rubber strap, the very steep curvature for number two, and number three, it's not overly heavy. It's so comfortable to wear that it gives you an ease into the adjustment period. Red being the number one seller there. We're going to move on. Now, you know, there are still people on hold from last hour picking up today's top value. Oh, yeah. It's $16 a month, man.
Yeah, I mean, everybody watching the show has to get at least one of those. You know, if you don't own any watches, I want to appeal to you to try that. And if you're a Stuhrling Nation person, you're a Stuhrling lover already, I already know you're on the phone for that.
All right, now it's time to revisit a classic. And it almost is like going back in a time machine, isn't it?
Because this is a signature piece for us, Jim.
You go back many, many years, and the original Traveler, when it came out, I mean, it really turned people sideways with their reactions, because they're like, whoa, wait, I'm getting all these time zones on one easily readable dial, but it's all done in discs. And once I said it, I look down and go, bam, I see what time it is in Cairo and New York and California and Hong Kong, all at the same time. You don't have to perform any complex calculations or anything else.
Right.
Now, it's 2010. Well, actually, this came out in 2009. So 2009 rolled around, and Stuhrling says, we're going to go back to the well. We're going to go back to one of our most popular pieces ever. And we're just going to bump it up a little bit. Not a drastic, huge jump, but jump it up to 44 millimeters.
Yep.
So those that appreciate larger watches don't miss out on what a fine timepiece this is.
Yep.
This is on a surprise price of $91.23. It's 5 value pays of $18.25. Pardon me, but I don't believe we have ever done this for this price.
No, and look at the watchmaking here, Jim. On that real tight shot we just had, which was beautiful.
I'm going to show it to them on this one.
You had, absolutely.
Okay.
You had, did you notice all of those italicized Arabic numerals are individually applied to the dial? They're not embossed on the dial. They're not printed on the dial. They're separate pieces that are applied to the dial with pegs that are sealed on the backside. Also, the base on the dial was hydraulic guilloche with the Soleil pattern once again. So you do have that textured dial as well. You see it in the center there. Okay. Look at the just very sleek and elegant, beautiful Dauphine-style hands there, Jim, that just give it such an elegant appeal to this timepiece as well. So it's really a boardroom-style piece, and it's a world timer. It tells time around the world, Jim.
Before we run out of time here, I do want to display that for you and what this does. As I pop the crown out, I can then select either by changing the date by turning clockwise, or I turn that crown counterclockwise, and you see I'm moving this disc. Now, what I need to do is I need to find my time zone that I'm in, which would be the Chicago time zone, which is usually over there by the 10
2
o'clock.
o'clock, I think.
Is it?
Yeah, like 1 o'clock-ish.
That would
between
be...
12 and 1.
No.
Yeah, between 12 and 1. We have New York at 12, and then Chicago at 12 and 1. See it?
Okay, so right now it's 1 a.m. here, so I want to bring this around to 01. I want to line that up with Chicago.
Now, as Jim is doing that...
Boom. Now I'm done.
That's right.
All I do now is as the time advances, you'll notice that disc moves at a slower rate. That disc will only make 1 revolution per day, whereas your hour hand makes 2 revolutions per day. Now, I'm going to go to, let's say it's 5 o'clock here in our Chicago time zone.
Look at Paris at 9 o'clock, Jim.
Now, everywhere, at a glance, your silver chapter ring here is the printed cities. Your time is already displaying. Let's get a closer look here and see what time it is maybe in Paris.
If it's 5 a.m. in Paris, it's in Minneapolis, it's going to be 12.
There it is. It's noon.
1200, yeah, noontime in Paris.
In Paris, it goes all the way around. Folks, at a glance, I can now see what time it is in every major time zone. I don't ever have to touch that again unless I move out of the Chicago area.
Yeah, we have a nice case back design on this as well. There it says Time Traveler right on the dial, as you saw there in the center. But also, Jim, when we made the Time Traveler, we did bump it up 4 millimeters to 44, but we made a new execution. We never had this cinnamon execution in the original Time Traveler, the one that I'm wearing here with the rose gold.
So you call it cinnamon, we've called it brown.
Yeah, well, it's brown.
Let's check this out. Larry's got a really, I mean, that thing is hot.
Oh.
I like the silver tone with the blued hands and numerals myself.
Which is
that's the classic.
one I own, actually, the one you're wearing. But
that is the rose with the brown.
Right.
We're going to go by dial color is what we're doing, black, silver tone, or brown. Take a look at that.
We didn't have this one. Now, we had a rose gold, but not with a brown dial before. So this is a new execution for the Time Traveler. And again, this is a signature piece. And, you know, here, we're actually selling it for this surprise price is actually less than the original Traveler was.
I know, I'm surprised.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to the phone and talk to Nick in Oklahoma and see if Nick is surprised. How are you tonight, Nick?
Good, Jim. How you doing?
Fantastic. Thanks for calling in. Say hey to Larry.
Hey, Larry. How you doing tonight?
Good, Nick. Thanks for calling in.
Good. I just wanted to tell you I'd picked up on that Challenger Pro with the blue dial.
Oh, good for you.
And the first one I bought was the white dial. I talked to Larry on the phone. I was going to say his customer service is off the charts. I mean, how often do you call a company and get the CEO of the company on the phone to talk to you about something, you know?
Well, thank you, Nick. I appreciate the support.
I'm the gunsmith, Larry, that talked to you about the bracelet on the Challenger Pro. Anyway,
I'm remembering that now, Nick. I am.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Yeah, I also bought the black model with the white cabochon telescope pushers.
Sure.
And I just love that Challenger Pro. That is a really killer watch. It's a beautiful watch.
Well, I can imagine being a gunsmith. I used to be in the gun industry myself, and I can imagine being a gunsmith. You've got obviously an eye for detail and seeing the amount of machine work and everything else that goes into that Challenger, from the bezel to the bracelet. That's just got to be a wonderful experience for you because you have a different level of appreciation for that level of machining.
Yeah, I've been buying watches from you, Jim, since 2005.
Oh, thank you.
And all the watches that y'all sell here, you know, all the other brands are just really beautiful watches. But the Stuhrling, their dial work is so beautiful. I mean, it's just got beautiful work, and you know, all the little attentions to detail. That the bezel feels like an oil. It feels like an oil-injected bezel. It's so smooth. Yeah. It's just a really beautiful watch, and I love that new pointed clasp on there.
Well, thank you so much, Nick.
So I just want to tell you I really appreciate all the good products you're putting out there, and y'all just keep up the good work.
Oh, thank you. We have some new variations coming off that Challenger, by the way.
Oh yeah, I think Nick's going to have to own a couple of them.
Yeah, the other one is that Admiral. I really like that watch too. That's a beautiful watch, and I'm going to wait till you bring out the red.
Yeah, I'm telling you, that's going to be the next big watch for Stuhrling. Nick, thank you so much for calling in. Enjoy your watches.
Thank y'all.
Much love to you, Nick. Thank you.
So Nick here has been shopping with us since 2005, and I thank you for the long-term support on that. Obviously, buying Stuhrling after Stuhrling, he's excited about the new stuff, the Admiral, and Yeah, I kind of let the cat out of the bag on that one, but that's
okay.
You're going to be collecting so many of those. You know, it's been a while since we've shown you the peacock, and I think it's time to do it again. It is the Tiffany-style peacock stained glass double-lit lamp that will come back tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern after being sold out for 6 months. Took that long to get more. Now, for those of you out there go, what's double lit mean? I don't know. Not only is the lampshade going to be lit, but the body, the base of the lamp also lights up. And in this case, it'll be in the peacock's body or is it the tail? One of the two, maybe both, I don't know. So tomorrow, actually later today at 8 p.m. Eastern, and then after that, we'll be back for 3 hours or 2 hours, boom, ba boom, ba boom, with more stuff. But right now, it's V91419. Goodness gracious, the Gen X Sport. Now, what are we getting for $169 that we can't live without? Well, and it says limited edition. I don't recall these being limited editions.
No, this is not a limited edition.
Okay.
So
my apologies.
No, the Gen X Pro was a limited edition. The Gen X Sport is not limited. So you are correct, Jim.
What you're getting here is, number one, striking color variations. You've got the rose tone or the gold tone, or orange and yellow, because those are colors that complement one another. I'll be honest with you, I've never seen anybody do that before. To do a sport gold tone with yellow, never seen it. And I mean, it's been done,
the rose tone.
But I've not seen it. And here it is right here. Larry himself has the orange with rose, very unique as well. So another reason you're buying it, besides its bright, vivid, sporty colors, the complications. Let's go through those one more time again, like we did last hour.
Sure.
What you're going to get here is a 24-hour indication. So you've got your military time displayed. So there you have here, there's 10 a.m., there's 12, but now there's 1400, 1600, so on and so forth. Going across, we have the calendar disc, or excuse me, calendar indication here. Mm-hmm. But right down here, this is kind of the reason you're buying this watch if you're a complication buff. Because of that retrograde day of the week, and not only is it a retrograde day of the week, the bridge that goes across is way high up on the dial, so you've got a great three-dimensionality to it. Mm-hmm. And the hand is extended through, and it has a kind of a placard on the end of it that allows it to highlight the day of the week instead of just point to it.
Yeah, again, in the details, as the last caller just pointed out.
Let's show the orange on Larry's wrist, because there's only a dozen remaining, and they're going to be sold out.
One of my favorite things about the Gen X Sport, we've now, learned this complication. It's a 49-millimeter case design, the Citizen Miyota JR00 with the retrograde day of the week, and so we know the complications, we know the dial. But one of the unsung elements of this piece, Jim, to me, is the strap. When you talk about a leather strap here, take a look, Jim, at this, again, the seamless integration.
The padding that goes into the strap.
With the platforms that are sewn into the strap, that's custom work. It's properly made right into the case. You can feel the support, Jim, and it's got the stitching, it's got the padding, quilted padding with the heat seal treatment going down through the center there. But
contrast stitching in the colors of the orange or the yellow.
Properly made. It's not just an inexpensive strap that's slapped on there.
You just throw it together, yeah, exactly. I'm going to dig through the parts bin and put a watch together. No. Custom made for this watch specifically. Mm-hmm. And I love just the vivid color in the backside of the strap, the orange or in the yellow. Very, very nicely done.
Yeah.
Moving on. Dun, da, da, dun, da, dun, da, dun. I'm still flabbergasted by this next offer, because I didn't expect to see the price that we're seeing. It's a clearance price, so what does that mean? Well, they're going to be gone. When they're gone and sold out, they're not coming back. V90685. Flat out, you're getting the best deal that we've ever done on the Eagle collection. This is from the 2009 collection. When they're sold out, they're done, they're gone. That's it. So do what you got to do to get on the phone. For value pay of $16.46. Size on this is about a 45, right?
44.
44.
It's 44, but it looks like almost like a 48 because the bezel is so ultra thin, Jim.
Yeah.
It's like 2-3 millimeters. So the actual dial size would be the size of a dial that you would put into about a 47 or 48 millimeter watch. It's wall-to-wall dial. Now, this is our Eagle, Jim, and it's from our Sportsman's Collection, our Bravo Zulu series, Jim. And in 2009, we added 3 new colors to the series. And what we've got here is 2 of those 3 new colors on a clearance opportunity. And you are correct, Jim. This is an all-time best price offer on this. Swiss quartz movement. And this, to me, Jim, is truly a great, and I mean great, everyday timepiece for a lot of guys. If you don't have to, you know, dress up in an office situation.
Yeah, I did that on purpose. Look.
What, with the blue stitching? You know, you got the double studs with the double row stitching here, Jim, and it's got a really nice case back design as well. You see we call those skeletonized obelisk style of hands, by the way. You've got the geometric triangle, and you've got the rectangles at 3 and 9, but there's that nice eagle head on the back. You can see the notches, by the way, Jim, going around the perimeter of the case back, which lets you know that it's a threaded case back that's screwed in.
The red is cool. I mean, it's going to be, it's a bright fire engine red. It's a very, very vivid color. But you know what? If you're kind of a blue jeans guy like I am, that's going to be a really great daily wearable look there in the black with the blue. The skeletonized broadsword style hands with luminescent tips. Very well done, very clean look. It's a military-inspired design. That's what it's all about. It's got that kind of flight look, that pilot's look. It's just a clean, easy to read. You know, maybe you're buying a watch for your dad for a gift. His eyesight ain't as good as it used to be. Well, you've got vivid contrast in the colors, and you've got oversized numerals. So, yeah.
That big, like, hot air balloon style crown, Jim.
For value pay, $16.46. And I got to tell you, I'm having a really hard time justifying how low the price went, because I know we've sold these so tremendously well. Yeah. It's one of those that there are sometimes you just go, we don't need to discount it. It keeps selling out on its own. People love this watch, but you know what? You see that Stuhrling is bringing out a lot of new stuff. So in order to make room for that new stuff, the old stuff that's discontinued, it has got to go. And now, you guys aren't discontinuing it. We're just not going to be stocking it in the future. So it's on clearance. It's $65. You guys are going to continue with this collection,
Jim,
aren't you?
Well, definitely so. This has been, the Eagle now has been, like, I think, 5 years now. Staple for us. Like I said, we added 3 new executions in 2009.
And we went for years. We couldn't get it because you had retail outlets that had a high demand for it. You made it exclusive for them, and it took a long time for us to get it. So realize Stuhrling has an established business outside of ShopNBC, and we're grateful for the partnership. We're grateful for you giving us as many exclusives as you do.
And you know, Jim, as well as I do, we at Stuhrling, we don't really do a lot of clearance. We have them, but we're not doing lots of clearance, as you know.
Isn't that's just a sharp-looking watch,
well,
man.
The black and the blue. I mean, this blue is what I call UCLA blue. You know, Jim, I'm a Bruin, and once a Bruin, always a Bruin. But to me, this is
definitely a petty blue, too.
As in...
For those, I won't continue with that, but people that are into cars know what I'm talking about.
Okay.
For value pay is $16.46. There are a lot of reasons to love this. Its simplicity, perhaps. Its military-inspired design, perhaps. Or... a price that's almost impossible to justify, $65. And for value pay on top of that, we're making it as easy as we can for you to own and discover Stuhrling watches. The fantastic brand that I've said many times and I'll continue saying is one of my top favorite brands in existence because of the exciting designs, the fresh designs, the hot new looks, the vivid colors they're experimenting with, and their incredible dial work. Here's a great example. One thing that they do really, really well are skeletonized mechanical and automatic movements. Here, I mean, you're blowing the doors off the hinges at this price of only $64.
Yeah, well, you know, our Winchester Grand, we were very excited to get this here, you know, to ShopNBC as today's top value, and I hope that if you've never bought a Stuhrling original, you're taking a look at what's on the screen right now, because this is designed to bring new people to the brand.
Speaking of which, we're going to go back again kind of in our time machine, and I go back to the very first Stuhrling watch I ever owned was the original smaller version of this. And I mean, we're going back 6 years now to it was a little 40 millimeter. I still got it. And I still look at it, and I love it. It's just so small, I don't really wear it much anymore. It was 40. The original Sunrise. The Eternal Sunrise here, this is the bigger version. So again, 44 millimeter case. And this was, I'll be honest with you, this was my begging to the owner of the company for years, please, please, please bring this watch back and make it bigger. And he did. Now, while I like the gold tone with the black dial, and that's the one that I put on, I do have a favorite, and I'll show you that in a minute. I'm not going to show it to you prematurely, though. I do want you to take a look at that black dial and look at the beauty, and you'll understand why it's called the Eternal Sunrise, because you start that 6 o'clock subdial, and the radiant sun rays that emanate from within that, it looks like a sunrise. Now, that's class. That's beautiful. That's bold and elegant, but watch this. Are you ready? The gold tone dial. Now, it's not champagne. I am calling it gold tone because it is. This is magnificent. That's a word I don't use very often.
Well, you know, I like to call it a champagne dial, but I'm not going to argue with you, Jim. Either way, it is gorgeous, and you're absolutely right. This is classic Stuhrling original dial work. This is what we're known for here. And, you know, it's so ingenious, just a subtle little difference. Typically, you have these sunray patterns emanating off of the center, from the middle. Just by making it emanate from the subdial at 6 o'clock, it gives it that effect of a rising sun, Jim, the eternal sunrise. And you've got that nice eternity ring going around as a bezel. Now, here's a nice shot on the screwed-in case back. You can see the screws going around the outside. You see the name, actually.
You know what I would do here?
Eternal Sunrise 2 at the bottom. Yeah, Jim.
You don't do this often. You don't leave a lot of blank space on your case backs. This would be a great watch to get. Maybe it's an anniversary gift. Let's use that for an example.
Good point.
Do some engraving. Go down to that place in the mall that engraves anything and write a little sonnet or something back there. I don't care what you do. But be a nice little, especially if it's like an anniversary gift, a wedding gift, something like that. A lot of engravable room back there. This is beautiful. I am madly in love with these. You've got a big date complication along with the sub-seconds at the 6 o'clock position. So you have a technically challenging watch because you get some great complications, but it's just about being elegant and beautiful.
Yeah, it's a Ronda, what they call a master tech. From their, okay, fine. I need one. I'll take the gold tone.
Yeah, because this is going to go great with your coat. I was just looking at it going, wow, look at that.
But this is from their Master Tech series. You know, you hear us a lot talking about their chronograph, their Star Tech series. This is from their Master Tech series with the small seconds and the auto-correctional big date at 12 o'clock. And really, there's no practical purpose for putting an auto-correctional big date on a quartz movement, really, other than to really feign a mechanical automatic. I mean, most people would look at this, they would think you're wearing a mechanical automatic timepiece.
Now, imagine Larry's in a business meeting. He's in the boardroom in his offices, wearing a suit and tie, with his cute little monogram sleeves there. And that's the watch on his wrist. Now, let's go back to that medium shot if we could, because I'm not trying to make a point here. Look at that. Now, Larry's wearing a great jacket. He's wearing a great tie, looking sharp. Where is your eye? Right there. That watch looks like $1 million. And if you want people doing the same thing, looking at that going, I want to know what that is, then buy a watch like this. $119, 3 value pay of $39.60. Excuse me, $39.80. It does have a standard buckle on the strap, by the way, just so that you're aware. Wow. What a night. Yeah. Enterprises, Admirals, Alpine Slaloms, Excaliburs, the Time Traveler Classic.
Valiant.
This has been
the Regatta Valiant.
A whirlwind of...
And we got the Revelation tomorrow night, Jim.
Revelation Tourbillon. Wow.
You ain't seen nothing yet, folks.
I love when Stuhrling comes into town. I really do. And there's the Time Traveler Classic, the multiple time zone world timer for, again, $91, an unheard of value. Right now, the first thing I'd like to do here, check this out. This watch is all about slim.
Right.
The 91297, the Ascot Pavilion. Now, it's a big size. I think it's a 46, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
46 millimeters in diameter, so you got a big, bold look, but look at this. It almost disappears like a sliver when you turn it on its side.
See how slim that is, Jim?
Now, this is done in the traditional vintage way. You go back 60 years, and watches were made like this. High lugs that don't just go into the case middle, they go up to the bezel. I'm going to tell you why in a moment. They go all the way to the top. Then you have that concave or convex case back with just a little button on the back for a case back. Here's why they do this. They mount the lugs high, and they concave the case back in order to pull the watch down into your flesh, into your wrist. So that whole case back disappears, where only thing visible is the slimmest portion of the side of the case. That's why they mount the lugs so high, and it just sucks it down. And it gives the appearance of being even slimmer than it really is. Now watch what happens. I'm going to put this on. There are only a dozen of these, so it's not like we have a lot of these to harp on. So you've got that big, bold look, right? You can't miss this watch. Okay, so it's got a nice presence, and then it disappears into the wrist.
Nice every day for the office kind of a timepiece. Because
I wish you could have seen the texture of the dial, but we don't have
it's so
time.
lightweight, but like you say, Jim, not a lot of time.
Very, very, very textured dial. Actually, it's not, but it looks like a ceramic dial, but it's not.
Small size.
4175. Round to 1069 in there?
Not sure.
You got the
Swiss
sub-seconds.
Swiss quartz, but I'm not sure if it's...
Yeah, 1069.
Okay.
All right, so... Oh, hey, I didn't know we were doing this.
Yes.
Apocalypse XT, the sportiest version of the Apocalypse. $164.39. Yeah, see, I like how I did that.
Yeah.
5 value pay of $32.88.
This is a very exciting timepiece for me, Jim.
I can't be biased here. Because each one represents a very cool feature. There's the triple black. That's hot.
There's the rose tone, which I own.
And then this one does dress and sports so well, being rose tone and silver tone.
Correct.
And then you've got the silver tone
with the white, silver dial, blue hands. Yeah.
Each one, you have a reason for owning each one. You could own all three and not feel like you're running over each other, you know?
Well, and here on a clearance price yet, you know, we're doing so much with the Apocalypse series. We brought out the new Apocalypse Grand earlier tonight. This is the case size, the 49 millimeter. This is the case of the new Apocalypse Grand. This is the first time we went somewhat large with the Apocalypse, from a 40,
Went from a 40, then a 42. And
49. Then we have a 45 as well, and then we have a 52. But this is that 49 millimeter. And also, one of the other things about it, I mean, there's so much about this, but
you like the hidden lugs.
Well, it has the hidden lugs that where it goes right into the case design. But to me, Jim, you know, we've started doing so much with our rubber straps, and to me, this was kind of a breakout piece for us in some ways, because this molded rubber strap that we did on this piece was very, very expensive, because it's 2 pieces, and then of course you have 2 sides of the strap, so it's really 4 pieces. So, and it's got the aeration holes in there, it's got the steel hinge in there, so it's not just again a rubber strap off of the shelf.
Vented for your comfort.
But we've done just tremendous silicone rubber straps on model after model after model, but this one I think started it all. We've done other rubber straps before this, but this one was the first out of the box.
Yeah, you guys spent a lot of money. I remember discussing this with you. A lot of money for the molds to create this.
Again, that popular case design. Now, in this particular timepiece, Jim, we do have the ST90089 3-hand skeletonized movement, but what we've done with it on the dial work here, we give you a mainspring reveal up here at 12 o'clock, but look at how unique it is, because it kind of has that turbine-like covering to reveal that mainspring, and that's where you can see how well wound it is. And then over there, your balance wheel, your open heart, where you can see the beating of the balance wheel.
Now here's a hidden surprise.
Yes.
You're seeing what looks like a solid plate, but that is a tinted acrylic plate that allows you at the right angle to see into the skeletonized, decorated, engraved movement, or it could look like a solid plate, enhancing the look with some color. And each one of those do that, except for the silver tone. The silver tone has a clear acrylic plate there.
Yes, that's correct.
So you have, at all times and all angles, you have a clear view into the decorated, engraved, skeletonized movement. In the black, you will have a charcoal tinted plate. In the brown, it is an amber tinted plate. I have chosen to wear, oddly enough, the silver tone with the blued hour markers and the blued hands. I really like this look. Now, notice also the Stuhrling S-shaped screws in the bezel.
And, you know, Jim, for such a robust piece at 49 millimeter case design, it's actually a fairly low profile. You know, it's not...
it's about 13 millimeters in thickness.
Yeah.
Look at that. Now, this one, I mean, you can't miss it. That's a full skeleton right there.
Yeah, another little hidden jewel I love on this piece too, Jim, is on the opening of the open heart at 9 o'clock. If you look at the border template there.
Oh, it's being obscured by the hand partially.
But it's there. You know, you can actually see Apocalypse XT. Do you see it on there, Jim? Can you read that?
Engraved on the bowl.
Can you read that, Jim?
I can see that.
Okay. And, you know, we have a nice exhibition caseback design on this as well, screwed in caseback, Jim.
I'll show that on the black version.
Okay.
As I open that up a little bit.
Yeah, very nice. And you can actually see the decorations. Now, you know, tone on tone, it's a little tougher to see. But there's the screws going all the way around the perimeter. There's that kind of gear-like design that's going around the exhibition window there. And you've got the scroll work on the skeletonized rotor as well.
There we go. Now you can see it.
Yeah, there it is. Nicely done. It's got the name on the case back as well, right?
And then here is the dial side with your dark charcoal.
Yeah, definitely an important piece, really, Jim, in our entire gallery, and particularly in the Apocalypse series, in the Epiphany collection. This is when we really started taking that series to the moon.
Yeah, this watch, I think, signified a lot of things. It showed your investment into your molds for your rubber straps, your new aggressive design statement that you started to make. And now we're seeing so many aggressively designed watches, but that really was kind of the genesis for it all.
Yeah, good call.
All righty, something to remind you of the days gone by. The Eagle Collection V90685 in red or black with blue for $65.83, for a value pay of $16.46. Now, actually, what I was going to say is something for the ladies is what we're bringing out right now. And I got to tell you, the Wall Street for ladies here is, it's a stunning look that if you never saw the price, you'd go, that has got to be hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars.
Yeah.
First of all, you start with the strap. Now, it's a genuine leather strap, but it looks like lizard. So there's one high-end part. V91125 is your item number. For $99, you're going to get into a donut-shaped case. And what that means is the sides of the case are rounded. Instead of being the sidewall being straight up and down, they're rounded. And that's done primarily for comfort. As you roll your wrist, the back of your hand doesn't hit anything. There's no sharp edge. It's all rounded. Now, you're then going to notice kind of a classic look in the lugs as they splay out to hold the strap. Now you look at that outer chapter ring for what is going to be the remainder of the dial. Now, realize mother of pearl being a natural substance, no two dials are alike, but they're expensive. Then you're taking a very thin, very brittle material. You're cutting a huge open heart into the middle of it. So the wastage rate is rather high. For every dial they cut, they're probably chipping, cracking, and shattering several. Look at the colors displayed in the orient of the dial. Now, this is the blue. I do want to go through all the color choices, but you'll see all the colors emanating from the blue. So you've got silver tone blue here. This is going to be a rose tone with white mother of pearl. It's hard for me to really move these around a lot on these little acrylic displays to give you the play of color, but we'll try. So you've got the rose tone with white mother of pearl.
I think they're calling it rose tone black because of the strap, Jim.
Okay. Rose tone black, so we're going to go case, then strap color. Then we're going to have the silver tone pink. And that pink mother of pearl, by the way, look at that. How hot is that? Oh, if I was a woman, I'd be all over that.
Yeah.
Then you've got the, I'm going to call it silver tone orange. It's like a butterscotch kind of color, silver tone orange, with a kind of yellow mother of pearl.
Well, remember Tang? Do you ever drink Tang, Jim?
Yeah, I remember Tang.
That looks like Tang.
That was the drink of the astronauts as they marketed it. And then the gold tone tan. Now that I look at as being the most beautiful. I like the color combination there.
Yeah.
Now it's the most limited as well, so obviously the ladies agree with me. Yeah. Now here's the beauty of it. A mechanical, automatic skeleton, just like the big boys, ladies, Stuhrling's not telling you that, okay, if we're going to make a smaller version for you, we're going to give you quartz. You still follow through with an automatic.
Well, very much so, Jim. This is our Lady Wall Street, and you know, Stuhrling Original has really become a leader in the industry as far as doing not only mechanical automatics, but particularly skeletonized mechanical automatics for the ladies. And this is the model that really did start all of it about 6 years ago. And I remember one of the first shows I did with you, we had this on when it was still, at that time, a new model. And here we are almost 6 years later, Jim. Yep. It's still one of our top-selling ladies' timepieces of all time. And we've got the 6 different executions. Now, this one here, and again, ladies can show their appreciation and affection for watchmaking by wearing a skeleton in a feminine orientation. But here, for those ladies that like to wear the tanzanite jewelry, the sapphire jewelry, this blue is perfect, okay? I agree with you, Jim, on the gold tone with the tan strap. I call it a sand-colored strap, but they're calling it tan. It's got those oxblood hands. It's just exquisite. Orange, of course, is going to be the hardest to match with your wardrobe, ladies. But the other colors, no, it really will. I mean, not all ladies are going to wear orange. You know, I used to have 2 ladies' clothing stores and my own jewelry business, Jim. And with orange, the first thing ladies always want to say, I have nothing to wear with it. But, you know, orange is...
Gives you more excuses to spend more money.
Orange is a color of high self-esteem. No matter which color you go with, guys or ladies, because a lot of guys are going to buy this for their lady to get them involved in watchmaking. You know, you buy a lot of watches for yourself. Well, here you can get a timepiece for your lady, but make it a skeleton mechanical automatic to get her involved in watchmaking. And we call it the Lady Wall Street, Jim, because when a guy wears a mechanical automatic, it's a serious thing. Well, now ladies can be taken seriously, too, in the business world. If you're a lady that's maybe a real estate person, a judge, an attorney, or whatever, a sales lady, whatever it happens to be, you can say, hey, guys, it's not just for you anymore. I've got a skeleton mechanical automatic as well.
And with that, we end the presentation. The 91125, $99.67 with 5 value pay of $19.93. And we're going to go from a glowing, beautiful, radiant mother of pearl dial to a glowing, beautiful, radiant young lady. Her name is Christine Quanley, and she's going to show you some mighty beautiful handbags.
What an introduction. Well, thank you so much. In fact, I have an hour of handbags coming up. Maddie Claire handbags. You're going to find out that the functionality of these handbags cannot be denied, either can the fashion. We're going to start the hour with a very popular handbag from Maddie Claire. 4 great colors. It's this wonderful dome shape. It's a wonderful size. You're also going to love the strap length on this, ladies, and multiple compartments. Also, the price. We're giving you 3 value payments on this leather handbag. That's just one of the many items that we'll have in the hour of Maddie Claire handbags. So I will toss it back to a very charming man and a very charming guest. Back to you.
Thank you so much, Christine. We'll see you in about 15 minutes.
Sounds good.
And for those of you out there that just picked up that Ladies Wall Street, there's some handbags there that match perfectly. So keep in mind, always be accessorizing. All right, at this point, I have no idea what we're doing. Let's talk about today's top value in that void. When you don't know what to do, today's top value. I'd like to welcome all of you back once again. The circle is now complete. We have come back to V09077. We kicked off our 3-hour block tonight with an amazing today's top value. Already a tremendous amount have sold. They are continuing to sell. Excuse me, for 64. See, I wanted to say 99 because that's where I feel as a great heavily discounted price this should be at. And it's not 99 or 89 or 79 or 69. It's 64.27. I can't impress upon you enough how impossible it would be for you to shop almost anywhere, even online, and find a good quality mechanical automatic skeletonized watch at a 44mm diameter, whether it be silver tone, gold tone, rose tone, or black IP, and expect to pay as little as $65. I don't know how it's possible. I shall not question these things. But the fearless leader to my right here of Stuhrling Original is allowing us to come out here and present these at such an astonishing price. I really hope that you guys are buying 2, 3, 4 of these. Buy some for yourself. Buy some for family members as gifts, maybe for the future. And buy some for those that you want to get into watch collecting, that you want to teach them why it is that you love watches as much as you do. Because you know what, if we just want something that told time, we wear whatever digital watch. We got time on our cell phones, on the clock in our car, at the clock up in the office. We're not for any lack of knowing what time it is. This is an outward expression of your personality. It's showing your appreciation for fine timekeeping, for fine watch manufacturing, because you're not buying just a quartz movement here. And again, there's nothing wrong with quartz, but if you could buy a mechanical automatic for $65, why would you buy a quartz? You know, really, think about it.
Well, you know, Jim, this is our Winchester Grand. We brought it here as today's top value. We've had it as a top value about a year ago, and now we're repeating it. However, we made some new upgrades for 2010. We have the 90050 movement with the refreshed rotor design in it as well. We've now added the rose tone execution with the 16-karat rose gold layering. But, you know, having said all that, we're talking about a mechanical automatic timepiece, which means for those people new to watchmaking, there's no battery in this watch. It's running off of a spring. There's no dial in the Winchester Grand, Jim. You can see all the inner workings in the timepiece. It's being held by a, you like to call it a movement retainer. Mm-hmm. It's a spoke-like wheel that's actually holding the movement in place. And those spokes that are coming out from that retainer are actually acting as hour markers to tell time. So really, this is about the movement. This is about watchmaking. This is about sharing your love and appreciation for watchmaking with others. And you know, Jim, so many times I like to say, listen to the right voices and you'll make the right choices. And I feel that it's incumbent upon me to come on here and let everybody know what's up. You and I see watch after watch after watch, and of course you see more than I do because I'm just one company. You're dealing with many, many companies. Mm-hmm. And so after a while, it almost gets confusing to say, you know, this deal is great, that deal is great, this timepiece is great. They're all great. But when something is really out of the box, out of the ordinary, 2 words, Jim, not normal. This deal is not normal. This timepiece is not normal. A skeletonized mechanical automatic timepiece for this kind of a value, I want to reach through the screen. Anybody hearing my voice right now that's watching this show, Jim, that can, you know, see what's on the screen, stop, look, and listen. This is not normal to get a skeletonized mechanical automatic timepiece for this kind of value. This is special, and we made it special to go all day long, Jim. I think the quantities are going to last, but make sure you get yours. This is not an inexpensive trinket or a bauble, Jim. This is a professional timepiece. It's a serious timepiece, and it's all about an homage to watchmaking, an art that goes back centuries, Jim.
Yep. If you'd like to get the black, which is the most modern looking of them all, that is the one that's selling the fastest, so you want to get in on that. The number 2 seller, however, is the brand newbie. That's right, the rose tone. So that'd be another great way to go very quickly before they're gone. Doesn't matter which way you go, silver tone, gold tone, rose tone, whatever it may be, you're getting a fantastic value all the way around on these. Do what you got to do to get on the phone. Larry, if you could suggest only one, which one would it be and why?
Well, if I could suggest only one and I only had to take one piece, I would have to go with the stainless steel case, with the silver tone case, with the blue hands and the black strap, because that is going to be your most versatile. Now, you can say, well, wait a minute, the black goes with everything. That's true. That's true. But in watchmaking, a lot of you guys have been following me for years, and you know my taste. I like all of these, but I'm a stainless steel. I'm a silver tone kind of a guy, and when you have a silver tone case with blued hands, not only do you have an homage to watchmaking as far as skeleton mechanical automatics, but in a sense you also have an homage to Abraham Louis Breguet, the greatest watchmaker of all time, or one of them, because of the fact that he was the one that created the furnace blue hands. Now, these are not furnace blue, Jim. It would be a lot more expensive, but they're blued hands. And anybody who knows watchmaking, when you wear blue hands and blue marker, it kind of says, I know a little something about watchmaking. So if I could only pick one, That's it, Jim.
Now, keep in mind, these are not furnace blued hands. They are enamel blue hands. But when you look at blued hands, the reason why it makes you feel it's expensive, you go back, it was Abraham Louis Breguet that created the process for bluing hands, which does include, it's high heat is what does it. And when he made his Breguet-style hands and did the bluing, that kind of set the bar. And people look at a watch that has any kind of blued hands, and they think of that level of watchmaking, that level of expense. Again, they're not that expensive, but it has that look. It complements all of these very well. I love the look, especially against black. You've got that gunmetal built in into that dial chapter ring there. Let's explore the other colors as well, though. Going into the new rose tone, which you've seen Larry wearing, rich color, rich 5N is the color code for the rose. So if you were wearing a solid 18-karat rose gold wedding ring, let's say, this is going to look just like solid rose gold against this deep, deep tobacco brown and the rose accents throughout here, silver tone obviously in the movement. Then we move to the gold tone where you have this rich, this nutty brown, or I'm sure Larry has a better word for it.
It's maybe a maple
saddle brown.
Saddle is good.
Saddle, I think, would be a good way to
I like saddle.
Say that.
That's a good one, Jim.
Gold tone accenting here with the blued hands. And then finally we go to the silver tone. Silver tone, I feel, is the best all around for everyday use. Yeah. Silver tone with the black leather strap, silver tone throughout everywhere else. Now, but that gives you more of a monotone look as you look in the dial area. The dial, the movement kind of blend together. The one that I think is the greatest stark contrast is the one that I'm wearing. That is the #1 seller, the black ionic plated case with the black strap, and everything from within it pops. Silver tone movement holder. Gunmetal movement holder. Silver tone movement. Blued hands. Everything just kind of pops from this dark, dark black. That's the way I look at it. That's how I call it.
Well, fair enough, Jim. At this price, you might as well just get all 4 and decide which one you're going to keep after you get them, and then use the other 3 for gifts, or keep a second one.
We haven't shown the packaging in 3 full hours. Okay. And you know what? I have the box next to me right over here. Be fascinated with my dancing hand there. Okay, now.
Yeah, it makes a nice presentation if you do give it as a gift. Yep. Absolutely.
It's like giving them a fine bottle of scotch, the way that this is packaged here. You open that up. Oh, we actually even have a watch in there to show you how it's presented. The Stuhrling polishing cloth that will come in it, the warranty information, the instruction manual, and then strapped down will be the watch. So when you close that up in its little coffin, and you've got the story of Stuhrling here.
It actually comes with even a nice gloss black sleeve over this that you have to take off.
You guys spend a lot of money in gold foil.
Yeah. Absolutely. Packaging, I mean, it costs money, but you're right. But Jim, again, I just want to make sure that if you've never owned a Stuhrling, I want to make sure that people understand I'm appealing to those people that have never owned a Stuhrling to take a look at what we're offering here tonight with ShopNBC, because this is truly special. We don't do this every day.
No.
This is to bring new people to the brand, to give us a try. This is a spectacular opportunity, a skeletonized mechanical automatic timepiece made by a company, that Stuhrling Original, that is known for our skeletonized mechanical automatic timepieces.
Well, think about this, the same brand name that tomorrow night will be bringing out your own tourbillon. You're buying into the same brand name, not an offshoot label, not an emporium of that label. Same name on the dial, same packaging. You could buy a true mechanical tourbillon tomorrow night and still buy a skeletonized mechanical here for $65. I mean, it does not compute.
Yeah. So that's it, Jim. I mean, just a great opportunity, and we're really happy about it.
And we're happy as well. Thank you for gracing us with such an amazing deal, offering it to you guys direct for $64.27 for value pays of $16.07, the 09077. Today's top value. Larry's going to be back again at 7 a.m. Eastern, 6 a.m. Central. Don't miss it. He's got a lot of lady stuff that he's going to bring out to you. I'll be back with Larry tomorrow, later on tonight for a couple of hours. Yeah. But stay tuned. Christine Quanley comes up with Marie Claire handbags. Don't miss it.